Worm, could you?
All I'm doing.
And you're pressing missile.
Like, you could drop it so far that the arm cannon is like half the screen, and like it's inside it. You see inside of it, kind of. It's screwed up horribly.
Literally cheating.
I realized I probably shouldn't stay morphed because of the black bars, so whoever's restreaming can have an easier time cropping this.
And it looks fine. It just looks a little off-centered.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
In the Beam.Pro, it's a little off-centered. I didn't crop it myself, but I assume they will crop it.
Oh yeah, let me finish tweeting this out. Cali Fire.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the time, by the way. Chilling and commentating stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
So it's like almost 3-hour commitment.
I mean, it's either this or I practice early Alicia, and I'm kind of tired of that.
Fair.
Kirby, I did an any percent Metroid Prime marathon without anyone commentating. It was not fun.
Yeah, I get that.
So I'm more than happy to join in.
This is fun.
Is this actually live now?
Yes.
On
you've been
Religions?
live.
Oh, so do I need to start soon?
Seem fine.
Anyways, I think we are good to go, guys.
We're good to go? Oh, wait. All right, cool. I was having a little fun just...
Yeah,
breaking
this is
the game.
live. They can hear you.
Hi.
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 Fish out of water.
Woo!
Oh yeah, I need water.
Yeah, I have my glass of water prepared. I always get a glass of water when doing an hour run, like over an hour long.
Or 2
Just so I'm
hours.
ready. Yeah.
Or
All right, so whenever you want to count down.
Okay, does the stream look fine? I'm guessing it's fine. All right. So countdown.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, cool. 3, 2, 1, go. This is Metroid Prime 2 Echoes for the Nintendo GameCube. And the category I'm going to be doing is 100%, which is around 2.5 to 3 hours. So this is going to be a fun one.
Have fun, Kirby.
Thank you. So this is the second game in the trilogy of Metroid Prime games, and in my opinion, my personal favorite of the three. And 100%, we go by the in-game definition of 100%, which is item collection. So there are 100 upgrades, both in major upgrades and expansions. And the goal is to collect all 100 of them, and then beat the game with them. So at the very beginning, there's a really big game-breaking glitch that we call ILS, which stands for item loss skip. Because normally at the very beginning of the game, you lose the items you start with. But in 100%, we can't do that, unfortunately, because In a room where you lose your items, there's a missile tank there that doesn't spawn until you enter the room and then lose your items. So in 100%, we actually do not do item loss skip. But this category still has a lot of crazy breaks in it. So, now.
Yeah, this beginning area is really straightforward. It's just go through, solve a puzzle, fight some enemies or not, just skip them. And then eventually you come to the actual item loss sequence.
Oh, by the way, I'm Kirbymastah. And the people commentating with me are DCR Gamer and Xanthian93. Both people who also play the Prime series a lot. Okay, this is the oh no cutscene. We just lost our items.
Oh.
Rip.
I really hope you never see this cutscene in like other categories.
You shouldn't see it in other
You really
categories.
shouldn't see this in other categories.
Unless a specific goal, then yeah.
So yeah, so before that cutscene, you started the game with missiles, boost ball, spider ball, bombs, and I might be missing something else. Space jump. Yeah. The game says you start with grapple beam, but you don't actually.
That's
But yeah,
really
I just lost
weird.
all of them.
If only you started with grapple beam, then Grand
Oh,
Abyss
man.
route would be free.
Yeah. So yeah, as DCR said, I'm pretty much just going through the main part of the game, intro part of the game. There aren't really any huge breaks, but there's a small skip coming up here, which I'm going to use the trick called a ghetto jump.
Yeah, basically it's you just
Right
jump
there.
against the slope and you gain more height. It's very useful for breaks like this.
Mhm.
Skipping a hole going around this room. It's actually useful later on, which we'll get to, which is kind of
Kirby
game breaking.
Kirby needs to make sure this cutscene plays through because Samus is currently on the box that's moving. So if you cancel the cutscene, you will no longer be, or you won't actually move anywhere.
Yeah, so
And
this area
the
is
sequence break does nothing.
kind of simple. It's really just a linear path. You take the path to get to the main hub area. So he's just gonna do a few jumps, like specifically ghetto jumps, and just scan a few things. Not a lot to explain.
I'm basically going to Great Temple, which is kind of like where you're supposed to get the exposition, the overall story of the game by Umos. He's kind of like this character who tells you what to do.
You collect the most important and useful item in the game.
Another important reason why we're going to the Great Temple immediately is because we get the Violet Translator there, which is needed for quite a few things. And the first major area in the game, Aegon Waste, is blocked by a Violet Translator gate, and we need Violet Translator to get past it.
Yeah, in an any percent run, you could just wall crawl, which is a term for going out of bounds and traveling. You could just go straight to the Aegon elevator because you have all your items. But you can't
Oh,
do
that was a
this
ghetto
time.
jump.
Oh yeah, so yep, he just did a ghetto jump to get the missile launcher here. But he's going to activate the cutscene, which will bring up the missile launcher again. So he's going to dupe the missile launcher. This is one of the reasons why we have the definition of collect 100 items, because you can just dupe items. And if we had it just as get 100% completion on the end game screen, we would just do any percent and dupe Cobalt Translator 79 times.
Because you can essentially duplicate a translator infinitely until 255.
Good
So the reason
job,
why
John.
I duped the missile launcher there is not for an extra percentage completion, but because the extra 5 missiles are really helpful for early game. Yeah, there we go.
See, this
That was
segment right
another
here
ghetto
is
jump.
kind of tricky with these ghetto jumps.
Yeah, so what he's doing is he's
Come
skipping shooting a missile and then going into a cannon and going through a bridge. By doing a couple dashes and a ghetto jump.
The scan dash is a technique in Metroid Prime 2 where normally when you strafe, you speed up and immediately slow down. But if you hold L and R, the shoulder buttons, at the right time, then you maintain your speed and then you can go extra distances. So it's useful both as a general speed technique and also just crossing distances you're not supposed to cross normally.
So this upcoming fight is kind of unfortunate. You can't skip it. You can at any percent by jumping out of the arena, but for 100% you have to stay in here because you don't have space jump at all or bombs.
Good luck, Kirby.
Thank you. Oh, dang it, I got an early missile drop.
Yeah, don't die.
Could have done that better. Oh well.
Well, let's hope you get another 5. And you didn't.
I didn't.
Okay, so what Kirby was doing was he was trying to get his missile count down to 0 without there being a missile drop, because the way drops work in this game, it's based upon the items that, or what you currently have. So if you're like, for example, less than, I think it's like 30% health, then you're almost guaranteed to get an ultra drop, which gives you 100 life. If you're out of missiles, you're 80% likely to get 10 missile drop. But the other problem is, and the reason why he didn't like that missile drop earlier was because it checks to see what's already dropped in the room. So it was acting as if he had 5 missiles. So you'll see him try to manipulate that with both missiles and power bombs. And if he's ever low on health, he's almost guaranteed to get an ultra.
And he's about to collect the most useful item in the game.
I think this is called like the energy transfer module or something. The story purpose of it is that eventually your ultimate goal in the game is basically to go to the 3 major areas and save them by going to their temple and getting the energy for them. But gameplay-wise, this does literally nothing.
Yeah, it's
It
just a
doesn't
story
even
element.
it doesn't even add a percent.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And the funny thing is, it's not even in your inventory right now. UMOS puts it in your inventory along with the Violet Translator.
Which, by the way, we just got the Violet Translator at this message. Energy fully replenished.
See, as mentioned earlier with the duping of Cobalt, each translator, which is 4 of them, Violet, Amber, Emerald, and Cobalt, all can add 1% to the item. So it's actually not, technically not 100 items, but they are counted towards the percentage of items. And they're very useful. Well,
Right.
Cobalt's,
So I just scanned the Violet Translator gate, and that's what the Violet Translator lets me do. It lets me open these gates and go through them. So now that I have the Violet Translator and some missiles as well, I'm going to go ahead to Aegon, first major area in the game.
and that's when things start to get interesting.
Yeah. Well, personally, things get really interesting after Dark Beam. Well, no, just before Dark Beam.
All right.
After Bomb, or SJ.
He's letting
or
this
Bomb.
cutscene play out. Oh, never
I
mind.
forgot.
It's okay.
If you let that cutscene play out, the room will continue to load as the cutscene's playing out, so you can save a little bit of in-game time. When we time everything in this game, we go based on in-game time, which the in-game timer works only when you have control of Samus. So the in-game timer doesn't tick up during item acquisitions or cutscenes
Or pausing.
or pausing.
Or pausing, yeah. So speaking of in-game time, the record for this game is a 1 hour 52-minute run by Miles SMB. My personal best is a 2-hour run, which is very improvable by my standards, and I've been struggling to try to crack the 2-hour mark. It could happen this run.
Yeah, for those who
It's
don't.
definitely a wall. It's like a roadblock at that point. Kind of like there are some goal times in different games where it's like once you get past that block, then it's not hard to get afterwards. So
One thing to note about this game is that Miles SMB is like is by far the best runner because he's put the most time into it.
There's like nobody with a time anywhere near him in like any category. Like the closest
Especially-
is probably 100%, to be honest.
there's an 8-minute difference in 100% between first and second.
There's
And there is a 7-minute difference between Miles and second place in any percent, and I don't even know about low percent.
It's like over an hour. but to be fair, Miles is the only one who's actually done true speed runs of 6%.
I think Metroid 177 has put in a good chunk of time.
I mean, yeah, but like Miles has definitely put in a lot more work.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Metroid 177. He does a lot of he does a lot of low percent stuff in Prime 1, 2, and 3. Oh, by the way, that was a small skip to skip shooting down a bridge. He just jumped on some platforms and did a scan dash, and then did a ghetto jump up to get to this next room.
Yeah, so
Right.
I'm supposed to knock down a second pillar to go around the room again, but I skipped that using the ghetto jump.
So if I may quickly say this, okay, Miles currently has the best time in low percent, which is 6% of the items. And his time is a 121. The next person up is Metroid 177 with a 231. But again, Miles is like put a lot of serious runs in, so it shows.
And he's going to be running it for HDQ.
Yes, he is.
Oh,
It's
wow!
Are
game.
you kidding?
Wow! That is just unlucky.
That's about as unlucky as it gets. I haven't seen that in
I'm just going to kill this
a
pirate.
while.
Yeah, for some reason in Prime 2 and 3, they added a thing where if you get hit, you lose your momentum.
Yeah, you lose a lot more in Prime 3, but it's still there in Prime 2. Like, you lose some of your upward momentum if you get hit when ascending, and that's what happened to me twice in a row. So I fell down twice. And, I mean, if you don't play it safe, there isn't really much you can do about it.
Yeah.
So next is coming up is Bomb Guardian, where you get bombs, and it's a pretty simple fight. You can 2-round it.
You're
which
supposed to
you'll see
4-round
Kirby
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
supposed
the
to be forward.
idea is that a round ends every time you deal around 1/4 of its max HP. So a full so using a charge beam and a missile does exactly 50%. So what I'm gonna do, oh, that's unlucky. What I'm gonna do here is use a missile, then an uncharged shot, then a charge beam. The uncharged shot, this combination will bring his HP just barely below 50%. If I don't use the uncharged shot, then the next time I damage him at all will end the round because he's at exactly 50% HP. I'm gonna do it again without the uncharged shot, and that finishes him off in 2 rounds.
So now he's gonna try to, I think, you're gonna go for a standable spot, which allows you to pick up bombs where it lands. If you miss it, it's not that big a deal, but there you go. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool
you
to see
got
it. You can also do the same thing with Boost Ball, but that's a lot easier.
The
Boost ball is extremely easy.
Boost ball has a really nice visual indicator of where the center of the room is. But I have like my own visual cue for that. I should probably tell people about it. I keep forgetting about that. But
Thanks.
it's not hard with the visual cue.
Okay, you get bomb skip? Nice.
Yeah, I did. Yay.
So now he's gonna get the Amber Translator, which,
Surprise! Lets you open amber gates.
yeah.
What a surprise. So yeah, we haven't done much to game breaking yet. Like there were a few minor room skips. And then what you're supposed to do next is you're supposed to go to the Dark World. So Metroid Prime 2 introduces this mechanic of the light and dark world theme, which is pretty much the same idea as Link to the Past, like Dark World theme. So like most rooms have a light version and a dark version, and to go back and forth between them, you have to access these portals. The thing with the Dark World is that the Dark World has a dangerous atmosphere. So you're constantly taking damage in a Dark World unless you're in a safe zone, which makes running this game kind of difficult-ish. That's one difficult thing about running this game: health management in the Dark World.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the harder parts. Like, I mean, I'm not an experienced Echoes runner, but I've lost a lot of runs to Dark Aether.
It's probably the biggest reason why this is a difficult game to run.
Yep. And combine that with the optimal 20% route, you're resetting a lot.
Alright, so this is the room with the first portal I'm going to use, but to activate the portal, I need to kill all these pirates and then do a puzzle. So these pirates are going to get infected by Ing. Ing are kind of the, the main enemies of the game. They're kind of a race of dark people or something, dark monsters. And they can pretty much, I don't know, possess anything they want to make them more powerful. As I see with these pirates.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. Parasite.
So
Yeah,
now
so
there's a
here's
puzzle here. Go ahead.
So there's a puzzle, which what you're supposed to do is destroy 3 different blocks, and these blocks are holding back sand. And by letting go of the sand, it activates each layer of the portal. However, he's gonna do some skips that gets around these because the game only checks if you destroy the last one, which they fixed at Echoes Wii. Okay, so he fell down, which is not a big deal, but
It loses quite a bit of time.
yeah, there's 3 things, and the game only checks for the last one, so he's gonna get there as fast as possible by doing a little skip around this first one.
And then
This
there's
is the last block.
invisible spots, and then you just bomb
Like,
that.
there's nothing special to that. No glitches. All you do is use these standable spots that the game put in for some reason.
Can't do that in Trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now he has access to the portal, and he can go to the Dark World for the first real time, I guess.
Yeah, I believe it's the first time you're supposed to enter Dark World.
This is like the actual first time. So there's two paths in this room that you can take. The right path is the exit path from the next boss and upgrade. The left path is the path you're supposed to take, which leads to a bunch of fighting warrioring, which takes forever.
Which you can
And
skip.
you have to, yeah, and there's a bazillion rooms you have to go through as well. You pretty much have to go like around half of Dark Aegon.
Yeah.
But screw that, I'm just gonna take the exit.
Yeah, all it is just a double bomb jump. Oh, that's what I do. I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, double bomb jump.
Yeah, double bomb jump.
And then the next part is jump on one of the ing pods. I don't know what they're called. Blade pods. Yeah, ing pods.
I don't remember.
Anyway, honestly, it's not that bad of a jump. It's pretty simple, but you have to be on the near edge of it, and you just jump off of it.
Okay, so what he's doing here is he's since he entered the room backwards, Jump Guardian is right there. So Kirby's just firing charge beam shots and missiles to try to take down Jump Guardian as quickly as possible.
Kirby, why are you wasting missiles?
I really don't like that statue. That statue's ugly.
I wish I didn't explain that.
Aw, that's okay. But yeah, as Anthony said, basically Jump Guardian is always there, so you could just fire at him until he's basically dead, and then trigger the fight, and you'll see what happens. It's kind of funny. It's a hard boss. Kirby might die if he's not careful.
Unless he misses.
What a difficult boss.
Oh,
yeah,
how hard.
Oh yeah, Miles missed.
Miles missed an SGDQ.
I thought he was hitting the boss during his SGDQ run. I don't know how he missed half those shots.
He missed all of them.
No, he took some damage.
I should note that even if you don't take the shortcut that Kirby did, if you go around the normal way, you can still do the same technique. The trigger for the fight is actually hitting the bubble, so you could just bomb jump up here and then do it, but just go with the fast way.
Yeah. The entire reason I went to the Dark World here is just to get Space Jump. The next upgrade I'm supposed to get is Dark Beam, which requires going to a pirate base, fighting a bazillion pirates, and then circling all the way around the pirate base and getting Dark Beam. So, you get Dark and Light Beam in this game, which are pretty much the most powerful weapons in the game, to be honest. And you get them really early. So, you can pretty much kill things really quickly with them.
Kirby, did you know safe zones have to be shot to function?
Oh, I know. I didn't know that.
I had no idea. But anyway, that's the reason why beam ammo exists, because these beams are overpowered. They're really overpowered. Did you get it?
No, I didn't get the instant morph. So
yeah, there's like a 1-frame window where you can between the two cutscenes where you can morph. And since this game runs at 60 frames per second, it's very difficult to hit.
So, as an example, to go back to how powerful the beams are, an uncharged Dark Beam shot on a light enemy does as much damage as a missile. A light beam shot, uncharged light beam shot on a dark enemy does more damage than a missile.
Missile does 30 damage.
So, yeah.
Okay, this trick.
Kirby's gonna go in bounds, obviously.
He's gonna go out of bounds. So, there's a period of time where, after getting thrown by the sand digger, that you have no collision. And so
that was way too early.
Alright, he didn't get it there, so he's gonna try again. But yeah, he'll just be thrown right out of bounds.
Yeah, they tried patching this in Trilogy, but if you go to the other side of the room, the other wall, it works. So
like that.
Good job. And now he's out of bounds, which is kind of big because he gets to skip a lot of the inbound stuff and save it for cleanup.
He's gonna save a lot of time with this. It saves a few minutes. What he's doing here is a trick. You're gonna see this a lot. A trick called ether jumping. Let me see how easy it is to explain this. Okay, so every room is surrounded by an invisible box, which has normal physics. You can jump, move around normally. Everything's fine. Outside of that box is the zone called ether. We call it ether, and you can't jump, but you float up really slowly. But if you go out of ether into the box, you have a 3-frame window where you can jump. And ether jumping, it takes a lot of time and practice to get used to. It's way more difficult than Kirby's making it look.
Yeah, I've ran this game for several years, so for me it's pretty much like instinct. But like the difficult thing about it is that there is the side of the box where the ether is completely invisible. You don't know where it is.
You have no visual cue. You're just doing it blind.
So like the timing can vary depending on how far in the ether you are, and it just takes experience to getting a general feel for that. And it also depends on the room.
It also depends on how fast you leave ether.
So this room has a pirate fight. Kirby's not going to do that fight. This out of bounds it's a lengthier wall crawl, but the time it saves is quite a bit.
Okay. You noticed. Good.
And
yeah, so what's
happening here?
What's happening here is Kirby, because he's not doing this inbounds, he needs to load each room manually. By going on the door and doing what's called a transition.
So like there's a common misconception about people who watch the Metroid Prime speedruns where like if you're out of bounds you can go wherever you want. No, you actually need a way to get to the door, which can be trivial sometimes, most of the time, to be honest. But in a lot of cases it's really, really complicated because there's like a lot of invisible geometry you have to work around.
And there's other times where the doors just like you can't transition unless you're in a specific spot, or some things you gotta be careful of. Like for example, this next transition. If he holds R, he crashes the game. So don't hold R, Kirby.
So this is pretty significant as he can go straight to this direction, which heads to Dark Beam and Dark Samus. Whereas normally you have to go to the right and go around the whole length of this area, which he will, by doing this wall crawl, allows him to delay it all to clean up, which is faster, but also can be a lot riskier. You'll see way later on. And he's basically just going to actually ignore Dark Samus, because who fights Dark Samus?
He was waiting for the room to load, by the way. This room takes some time to load.
Yeah, so generally speaking, there are two ways to load a room. One is to hit the invisible load triggers, which generally speaking is how you load rooms in bounds. The other way is if you don't hit that invisible load trigger, you have to shoot the door and basically touch it.
Yeah, which you also have to be careful about, because if you load too many rooms at once, the game will crash.
Generally speaking, you will never load the rooms the latter way unless you're out of bounds. There's one exception, but yeah.
Which you notice,
Torvis, the energy controller in Torvis when you warp in.
Oh.
Yeah, because when you warp in, there's no load trigger, so in order to open the door next to that, you have to actually shoot the door and get close to it.
In regular Torvis?
Regular Torvis, the energy controller.
That's really weird.
I don't think this was mentioned, but if you notice, Kirby opened the portal as he unmorphed. That's called a roll shot. Basically, if you unmorph and shoot at the same time, you can shoot out of an unmorph, and it saves time opening doors and stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. I just kind of keep using it, so I forgot it's a thing.
Yeah, you morph and press A on the same frame, or unmorph and press A on the same frame.
So you basically press A and X on the same frame. You can do it with missiles as well, which is just pressing X and Y on the same frame.
Being close to phase on crates are always scary, because those do 75 damage each. You don't.
It's just riskier with. It's riskier with power bombs though, because if you have power bomb, it's riskier with the missiles because you can accident if you're too late or too early. You can activate power bombs.
No, is it? No, it's if you're too early.
And they're talking about if you try to roll shoot missiles, because the Y button is the button for firing a missile, but in Morph Ball, the Y button is the same button for power bombs. But there's a workaround for that, where if you plant some bombs before you try to missile roll shoot something, which I'm going to do a few times, then power bomb can't go off. So it's a nice little safe strat I think Bob came up with.
I've never thought of that, actually.
Yeah, everyone was like, whoa, that works, cool.
No
worry about that.
This room has 3 scan posts, which unlock a door. And it's very simple. The last scan post, which is the top of the room, you're supposed to face it, but you don't have to. All you do is just jump and I forgot how it works. You're close enough and you're high enough, and you can scan it from the back.
Yeah, be
So
careful.
could you explain roll jumps? Like that? That's a roll jump.
So yeah, if you roll and do what's called an instant unmorph, which is when the camera is impeding Samus. So, yeah, the camera is impeding Samus, so that way the morph animation you normally get doesn't happen anymore. So if you jump within 21 frames, I believe it is, of unmorphing, then you can get you can jump as if you're on ground.
It's because the game stores this in a state variable, where if you're the first 20-ish frames that you're airborne in Morph Ball, that's actually the exact same state as human Samus on ground. So if you get an instant unmorph like that during that period of time, then you'll get it. You can jump as if you're on ground.
So we should also mention that he did that horizontally. That's also a technique used vertically, and that technique is called a bomb space jump, which same concept, but basically how a basic bomb space jump works is that you bomb jump and you go backwards towards a wall and unmorph at the right time, and you can jump out of your unmorph because you get an instant unmorph. He'll be using that a few times this run.
All right, so right there, Xanthian talked about drops a bit. If you're below 20% of your max HP, I believe there's an 80% chance you get an ultra health. So in my case, 20% of my max HP is 40. And since I got really unlucky drops beforehand, as you probably saw me almost die, I was intentionally waiting for my health to go below 40, and then I broke that cache to get an ultra energy. So that's one case where I was manipulating my health to get better drops.
It's one of the nice things about this game is
really
drops.
Nice.
Drops are they're helpful.
Considering I just came from this game and going back to Prime 1, I miss the drops and echoes.
Prime 1 does not care about what you have and giving you what you need.
It's based on the room. The drop rates are based on the room. And
Kirby.
So,
No.
So basically in Prime 1, it can be like, oh, you have no life here. Have some missiles.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so now Kirby has light beam and dark beam, so he's all set. But now he's gonna do another roll jump. Ooh, I never seen that one before. Well, anyway, he wants to get across there because there's a beam ammo expansion up there. Also, he wants to avoid this fight because it's slow to fight it. And there's a beam ammo expansion. Each beam ammo expansion gives you 50 ammo, which is very useful, and you obviously need it for 100%. And once he gets this, he has to carefully avoid the pirate trigger when he's going down.
Mm-hmm. It's right in front of the door, so if I moved a bit too far away from the ledge, then I would have activated it, and I'd have to either kill the pirates or reload the room and exit.
So if you're familiar with this game, after you get light beam, then you really start going for the key hunt for Agon.
You're supposed to get the Dark Temple keys and then go get Dark Suit. We're gonna delay that till much later,
which makes the run a lot harder, but it's faster.
I don't know why you guys aren't my commentators, because I don't know what a dark suit is.
You don't know what a dark suit is?
No, what is it?
I'm drawing a blank now.
Wait, actually, Kirby, this is not a 100% run because you're not getting dark suit.
What is a dark suit? I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't know Agon had keys.
Okay, so he's making sure that save room is loaded because he's going out of bounds again. With the same method he did the first time.
So hopefully I get it first try this time, unlike last time.
Bomb Digger round 3. Wait, what?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's going to work.
Yeah.
By the way, can you guys give me a sign as to when I can get a quick donation in?
Go for it.
Go for it now.
Yeah, we just received a $100 donation by Icefire.
Ooh.
Requesting somebody that's just stream Prime. Done.
Nice. Thank you very much for the donation.
Yep. Shout out to Icefire. He runs Primes 1 and 2. So, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
And we also received a $144 donation from Cool Maddie.
Cool Maddie.
PayPal option does not support. PayPal option does not support two-factor I think you meant authenticating. Thanks, PayPal. Anyway, here's some cash to double the total. Yeah,
nice.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I just got to Torvis. Torvis is the second major area in the game, and I went through an elevator I'm not supposed to go through.
Yeah, you're supposed to have secret missiles. Oh, yeah. you can't get out of here without Seekers normally. So he needs to go out of
Yeah.
bounds again.
Fortunately, I can just go do this.
What
Which
he's using is
the
a
same
bomb space jump, and there's a little ledge he has to land on. But with the bomb space jump, gets him enough height that he can land on this ledge and just jump through the ceiling because there's no collision.
Yeah, so a bomb space jump is essentially the same kind of technique as a roll jump that we explained before, except it's used for height, and you use a bomb jump instead of rolling off a ledge. So yeah, now I'm in Torvis. I basically, not only am I supposed to have Dark Suit, but I'm also supposed to get to Torvis by going all the way through Temple Grounds, coming back up to Great Temple, and then going through Temple Grounds again and solving a massive puzzle. But I skipped all of that with this out of bounds here.
Yep, and now he's going out of
it.
bounds. He could just go back in bounds to get and then get super missiles
Ooh, what
right now,
happened here?
but he has to make a detour.
Oh yeah, there was a hole in that ceiling, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's like once you go up the elevator, they just didn't put collision, which for obvious reasons makes sense. Like there's no point in wasting it, but you know, we can take advantage of that.
So yeah.
So now he's gonna do an out of bounds wall crawl.
I mean, he's on his way to get power bombs.
Yeah,
Or
you're
eight.
supposed to get power bombs very late in the game, like after you get Spider Ball in the last major area in the game. Well, once you access the last major area in the game, you're supposed to make a backtrack and then get the main power bomb upgrade. But there's a more portal in this room, which you're supposed to use a power bomb to get to. But I'm out of bounds. I'm just gonna clip in here and grab this power bomb tank. And now I just got a late game item from 30 minutes in a run.
This really breaks the game open.
All right, so just to quote, I'm not gonna say the whole thing because that's bad, but just to quote, "You, sir, have lost my interest."
I know what you're referencing.
Yeah, it's the hack run now. Okay, but yeah, Kirby just got a power bomb expansion, which is very useful. You can get around easily, travel to rooms that you're not supposed to, etc. Game-breaking stuff.
And this massive room is loading right now, so I just have to stand where it's going to load and wait for it to finish, and now I'm back in bounds.
This room's really big, so it's not
very
hard to
lenient.
get back in.
Let's see if we can get the snipe.
Nice. First one.
Right. So now I will demonstrate how powerful
Oh,
Dark Beam
nice.
is. Dead.
Yeah, he's not even gonna do fully charged shots.
Dead. There we go.
So I guess I'll mention it's a little bit of this fight. In any percent, when you come here, you actually don't get the power bomb expansion because you already have a power bomb expansion. So to activate the fight, you just you shoot the door, which locks it, and then the pirates start coming down, and you destroy first set of pirates and then the 2 flying pirates, and then that puts you in bounds, so you can get supers. It's kind of interesting.
It's really hard to do out of bounds because you're so far away and you want to kill him with Dark Beam, but Dark Beam
And you
is so
can't
slow.
lock on.
Yeah.
So what Kirby did there was when he used the super missile, he brought up the scan visor because it's like a 2-second cooldown before you can do anything.
Mhm.
So bringing up the scan visor cancels that cooldown.
This
Now he
applies to
has-
any beam combo.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's any beam combo.
So now he has Emerald Translator, which you can guess opens Emerald Gates.
Yep. And now your intended route you're supposed to take is get Boost Ball in Upper Torvis, then go all the way to Temple Grounds, get Seeker Missiles, then come back to Torvis, go to Lower Torvis, and use Seeker Missiles to access these puzzles in Lower Torvis. Lower Torvis is like the bottom half of Torvis.
All right, if I may post this.
Oh
Anyway,
boy.
but yeah, Kirby's gonna change that a little bit. He's not gonna go around because it's way too slow.
It's a massive detour to get either of those right now.
So he's actually going to. go to
Let's
Lower
explain.
Torvis
Let's explain
now,
it when he gets there. Yeah, he's heading right to Lower Torvis.
But you'll see.
It's a good time to explain it. You'll see it. But yeah, go for it.
So he's entering Lower Torvis, and yeah, you're supposed to have Boost Ball, but that's kind of out of the way now. So what he's gonna do is using the scan visor. Actually, is it? No, not even scan visor.
He needs Seekers, so what he's going to do instead is an underwater dash.
Yeah.
Which is when you press B and R on the same frame while holding L, you keep a lot of forward momentum, and you can get to scan points that you're not supposed to get to, like or normally, unless you solve this massive puzzle, which you need seekers for.
Yeah, so
And
he's gonna do this
boost
to every each of the well, at least these two scan points. Once you get all three, he has access to the lower part of Lower Torvus, or he can get gravity boost in the hard boss fight that follows.
I hope you don't get the soft like I got.
That would be kind of scary. So, I just got a frame perfect morph because it's similarly to what Xanthian talked about after Jump Guardian. After you finish scanning something, but before the cutscene, you have 1 frame of input, and if you press X on that frame, then you skip the morph animation. So I got 2 out of 3, which is nice.
That's really
Usually
nice.
what I get.
So this just cuts out a lot of time. What he just did.
This is one of
That-
the biggest sequence breaks in the entire game, and it doesn't even look like one.
It doesn't look like much, yeah, but it saves so much time.
So the next item he's getting is Gravity Boost, which is the equivalent of Gravity Suit with an added feature of being able to float, which is really nice.
All right, good. You didn't get the soft lock.
It also helps visibility, which I greatly appreciate.
Yeah.
I didn't even
So-
notice that.
Gravity Boost is the better Gravity Suit, basically. And next is Alpha Blog.
Dude, I need serious time. This is the hardest boss in the game.
Yeah.
All right,
he's-
let's give him some serious
I
time.
wish you luck, Kirby.
Thank you. I need to concentrate for this. I'm gonna wait a bit. What? I don't feel this often. Run away!
Fine.
GG, nice fight.
This is legit a really hard fight, so I don't like
Yeah.
fighting him, so I'm just gonna run away.
It actually is a kind of difficult fight.
It actually is a pretty weird, dumb fight because his hitboxes are just so wonky.
But yeah, now he
Yeah.
has this.
How that worked?
and-
Is that there's a bunch of platforms that you're not supposed to be able to access, and they lower after you beat Alpha Block. But with the BSJ, you can access those and skip the fight.
Because
And
it's
now,
supposed to be just out of your reach.
Anyways,
so now
Oh,
he
you're
has
doing it. Oh, you're
he has
doing it.
power bombs, which normally when you come into this room, you have to get the key and leave because you're locked in. But he has power bombs, so he can access this area of Lower Torvus, of Dark Lower Torvus, now, which also saves a lot of time and allows him to take a shortcut to Grapple Guardian.
yeah, I'm gonna take a safety save just so you never know what might happen. Meaning this area can be a common death spot if you're not careful.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this
I
area, I
almost-
think
I almost pulled a Justin and didn't save.
this part of the run is definitely one of the harder parts.
Like, I mean, it's not super hard once you get experience with it, but like if you're not careful, then you can very easily die.
There
Yeah,
is
I've
no
lost
dark
a couple
suit.
runs here.
No, also no boost ball is kind of harder too.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, normally you're supposed to have Dark Suit at this point, which reduces the amount of damage you take in Dark Aegon or Dark Aether from 6 to 1.2
Per second.
Yeah,
per
dark
second.
suit.
Yes.
At this point, I think you're supposed to have like dark suit and 5 E tanks. So it's like, yeah.
There aren't very many safe zones. All right, I'm scanning Grapple Guardian here because I can't lock onto his eye until I scan him, and shooting his eye is what stuns him basically.
So
I
with
just
this,
basically stun him and then keep shooting
Yeah.
his back.
it's pretty simple fight. Just stun him and hit him in the back. This is round 1. It's the same all the way to I think like 75% of his health gone.
Yeah,
Or is it
something like
more?
that. A bit more, I guess.
So now the second phase, while he's gonna power bomb the door that he has to go to. But the second phase is slightly different. You still have to stun him 3 times, but this time, once you stun him, his eye is the weak point.
And that's it. So there's a chance he'll give me a power bomb drop, which I really need, because I need to blow open
Jeez.
another power bomb gate. But I didn't get one, so that's gonna be a
Nope.
waste of time.
And like 30 life. Good game.
Yeah, I got no health. I got 4 missile drops. Thanks.
So now he has grapple beam, which is pretty useful.
Power
Sort of.
bomb plus no life is what killed one of my runs. So
Yeah.
yeah, this boss can be extremely unlucky, which is why he took the safety save earlier.
I mean, fortunately, I'm still really high on health for the most part. I got really good drops in the hall beforehand. And even if you're like really low on health or something and about to die, you can still grapple up to the top door and grab some drops.
So the whole getting to Grapple Guardian early thing is also another sequence break. Like this light beam door that he went through is supposed to be the path that you take that travels underneath Grapple Guardian, so you can get to the upper part of the of Undertemple, which is the lower Dark Torvus area. But power bombs and that really allows you to skip all that.
Since I didn't get a power bomb drop, I'm gonna take the safety strat. Just grapple up here, and we can grab some drops. And again, since I'm at 0 power bombs, I have a very high chance of getting a power bomb drop.
Like there.
Yeah, at least I think it's either 80 or 90%. I don't remember.
It's 80%.
But that percentage doesn't apply to Grapple Guardian, by the way, even if you're at 0 power bombs, which sucks.
You have a lot of health for this, which is good.
I have a lot of health. Normally, I'm like around 70 or 80 health here. So I'm like 80, comfortably around 80 higher than usual. So it's very nice.
Yeah, usually you'll leave this place like 30 health maybe, or 2.
Which can be scary because there's a bunch of Grantlers underwater. Grantlers is that little enemy that just kind of bonked me there. And they do 20 damage, so if you get hit twice and you're below 40 HP, you're dead.
Oh yeah, about that.
So, like a lot of people have lost runs to this room. Just
Uh-huh.
because you're low on health and then you just... See that guy right there, that douchebag. That's 20 damage. And they can combo you if you're not careful and do like 60.
So basically, since he has grapple, he's basically done with lower Torvus until cleanup. And he has the key down here, so he's good to go. Next
So what do
step
I need
is
the key for?
well, are you being serious?
No, I'm like kind of... So basically, I need to get 3 Torvus keys to access Chica, who's the big boss of Torvus.
Yeah, and Chica, even if you're able to walk, which you can wall crawl to the upper part of that. So actually, you don't even have to wall crawl. You can just do a PSJ. But you can get to the upper level of the temple, but the only way to actually trigger the fight is to use the keys, which is unfortunate. But the keys are on the way anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So as ECR mentioned, the only reason I'm in lower Taurus for the most part is to get the 2 major upgrades down here, Gravity Boost and Grapple Beam, and also get the 1 Torvus key down here. The other 2 are in Dark Upper Torvus.
Yeah, now he's heading to go into Upper Dark Torvus. He's going to be encountering pirates, most likely. That only spawn after you get Grapple Beam. They're really annoying. And they have a 50% chance of spawning. So let's hope he's lucky.
So this is the first time they can show up in this route. And they did show up. Bummer. Fortunately, you can cheese them by using a charged Dark Beam plus a missile. I was hoping that Phazon Crate would kill it. So right now I just have to hope he appears near me and not cancel my attack like that. But yeah, see, the thing with Grapple Pirates is that when they show up, they lock their room, and you don't unlock the room until you either wait an entire minute or you kill both of them. And obviously waiting an entire minute sucks if you don't want to do that, so...
I didn't know you could wait in a minute and then it would
Yeah,
unlock.
you can wait 1 minute. Alright, I am a lot lower on health than I'm comfortable with, to be honest. So I'm going to grab a health drop
that's
in
very
Dark
low.
Corvus.
So you mentioned the sequence before, the intended sequence. Now he's finally going to go get Boost Guardian. And the reason we do it, one, it's faster, but the reason really why it's faster is when you kill Boost Guardian, the next step is Chica. So by doing that, they're both in Upper Dark Torvus. So, and you have a power bomb. Actually, you don't go that way. Never mind.
Actually,
But anyway,
I'm not gonna get a drop. I'll be fine.
Basically, you get Boost Ball, get the key, and then head to Chica.
That's not good. Oh, hey, this Hunter killed itself. Thank you.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
That's convenient. Anyways.
But yeah, for rallying purposes, it's since you're already in Upper Dark Torvus, it's faster to get Boost Ball.
Later.
For Chica. Flows really nicely.
Yeah, he's gonna take a save here because it's a marathon and he needs health.
I mean, yeah, you always take the save station even in a normal run because save stations heal you fully and you really need the health.
Yeah.
And so Boost Guardian is a very notorious fight.
Yes, it's probably I would say probably
Made it.
one of the hardest.
Because the thing about Boost Guardian is that he does a crap ton of damage, and there are no safe zones, casually. And you're supposed to have Dark Suit, but I don't have Dark Suit. So he's like one of the hardest fights in the game.
Like, just a side thing. I'm pretty sure I heard that when they first made Boost Guardian, he was so difficult they couldn't beat him. They actually had to use a debug code to defeat him. But yeah, this is Boost Guardian.
That was hard.
All you do is lay a power bomb, and it dies.
Oh yeah, and there's the center of the room he's in right now. He's just standing there. It's very easy to tell where it is.
I finally got Boost Ball. Took long enough, so now I can move a lot faster. Boost Ball is kind of like the Prime Series replacement, sort of, for Speed Booster. Speed Booster is an upgrade that lets you go fast in the 2D Metroid games.
Yeah.
The gimmick behind Boost Ball, is that you can go up these half pipes, and that applies to all 3 Prime games.
So now that he has Boost Ball, his next step is actually to get Dark Visor, so he has to fight Chica. And he has only one more key, which is conveniently right before the temple, so...
Like, what you're intended to do is you're supposed to see that key after Boost Guarding or something like that, and you're supposed to be like, oh, well, I don't have Grapple Beam, so I can't get it. But I have Grapple Beam already, and there are other ways to get it without Grapple Beam anyways.
So here's he's gonna do a triple bump space jump, which allows him to get over this gate. Normally, you have to go back to the portal that you came from, to the Light World version of that room, go up this half pipe, and then go around, lower this gate, and then go back to the Dark World from this portal.
Yeah,
However,
so that saved a lot of time.
Yeah.
Luckily, that was the second spot where pirates could show up, but they didn't. Thank goodness. That one's horrible.
So that's the last key. Now I'm going to be fighting Chica, who is a pretty complicated fight. So there's 2 major forms of Chica. There's the Chica larva, and then killing it turns it into adult for some reason. The Chica larva it doesn't really have any specific weaknesses, so I'm going to be alternating my beam. The entire fight is basically about how you manage your beams, for the most part. Because like you have ammo, and like 100 ammo is not like that much. Heck, you can find him with 50 ammo, and still be fine if you manage it properly.
And conveniently, there is an ammo station before Chica, which we just take because we need the ammo.
A refill station, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of 2 times where I'm actually going to take a refill station because I kind of need it. I mean, I could fight him without refilling, but that's just...
It's not worth it.
Bad idea.
You're gonna
Very
lose
bad
more.
idea.
You're gonna lose more time that it would save to skip it, so it's not worth
You
it.
need missiles and both beam ammos.
Like the detour takes like 5 seconds, maybe more. Like it's not worth skipping.
All right, this is the fight. I'm not going to be talking much, but feel free to commentate on it.
Okay, so he's supposed to have seekers. Oh, that's later. Sorry. Anyway.
Alright, he needs to scan Chica larva because you can't target his chest unless you target. Or you can't target the chest unless Chica larva is fully scanned.
Oh shoot! I forgot to finish scanning it. Whoops! That happens like,
Good one.
occasionally. That was very bad.
So yeah, scanning allows you to lock onto its weak point.
This is off to a fantastic start. I will say that. I think it's because I forgot to start the fight with light beam, so I got it. I swapped, and I just forgot to scan it.
So this phase just consists of when he pops his head out, shoot him with light beam. And then if he jumps out of the water like he did before, you want to super missile him. And then he also, once you do enough damage, he will jump onto the platform you're on. In which case, you will spam dark beam and missiles into his chest.
Yeah, if you
do enough damage.
If you like use 2 dark beam shots followed by a missile, it'll just deal more It'll deal more damage. You can you can fire a missile without losing your firing rate, as long as you're still mashing A.
That applies to light beam as well, although it's not applicable anywhere in a speedrun.
And the same thing, he's in repeat exactly what he did. And then the second Chica fight is a little different. It's a lot different.
Yeah, I didn't do enough damage, so I'm gonna use a super.
So yeah, fun fact, I should just mention this quickly before we start with that. If you, in the beginning of the fight, you had to shoot 4 different points. If you are standing in the dark water, when you destroy those 4 things, you'll start the fight with floaty jump, which is a really high jump.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's how you get floaty jump there.
Yeah, you can't have light suit though. But anyway, this, as you saw.
Okay, he's stun locking this boss.
Yeah, you're supposed to stun this boss, and then use seeker missiles, lock onto the 4 points. But he doesn't have seekers, so this fight's a lot longer and slower. But if you could stun lock him like this, you can just fire 2 missiles at each point and knock him down pretty quickly.
The charged dark beam snipes are pretty difficult to do. You have to aim higher than you think, and you have to not lock onto him and fire it just in time. If you fire it too early, it'll bounce off.
The other part is if you let go of your lock on while you're shooting missiles too quickly, the missiles won't actually hit Chica.
So this part is when Chick is dark, and you have to damage it in the bottom. It's best to use light beam. It's also a good time to farm for ammo if you're low. This fight is kind of ammo intensive. Especially dark beam, but you seem to do pretty good.
Good job, Chica.
Yeah, I didn't want him to spawn those larvae because I was fine on ammo, but I was slow on the first dark phase.
So I should mention that if you notice the first phase, a fully charged dark shot will stun him, but on the second phase, you need to do a charged shot and a single shot to stun it.
Oh, you moved quickly there.
There's a technique in any percent you can do or a trick called Morph Ball Invulnerability. And it takes out Chica in 1 shot because it stores the damage of the cannon. For some reason, Chica Adult is weak to this. Like, you can actually damage Chica Adult with it, and it deals, 500,000 damage per frame?
For reference, Screw Attack does around 20-ish damage per frame.
I thought it was 36.
Was it? I don't remember. Not close to as much.
So yeah, to activate this MBI that we're talking about, basically you have to have, you go to a room in Sanctuary with a cannon, and we transition the room to the temple.
You're out of bounds, by the way.
Yeah, you're out of bounds to do this, and then you do a trick called ceiling warping, which basically, as it sounds, if you're on the wrong room, which is you're standing over the room of a map you're not transitioned to, and you can ceiling warp, which is morphing into the ceiling, basically, to get back in bounds.
Oh, Kirby, don't get the energy.
Oh, yeah.
What's an energy?
And if you do that, and you use a cannon, and you unload the room that you're in the cannon with, the game thinks you're still in the cannon, which is kind of funny.
So right here is another really big sequence break I just did. So what you're supposed to do in each area is to get the energy after beating the big boss, right? So you're supposed to get the energy and then come back to the light version of this room and then return the energy and then go back to Great Temple. But you can just reload this room and just leave and not care.
Fortunately, on Trilogy, they patched that.
Yeah, it's patched in Trilogy.
But
yeah, this is really important because like if you get the energy, then UMOS will lock you in like certain rooms and you have to like go back to Great Temple and it wastes so much time.
And he'll lock even more rooms afterwards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's basically done here until cleanup, and he's gonna go back to the Light World and get 3 more missiles, and then he's off to.
Yeah. Oh, is it 3?
Three.
It's 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So normally this portal is just for you to get the missile expansion and leave, but there's a hole in the ceiling. You can just jump out of bounds using a ghetto jump.
Also, fun fact: this room has a invisible spider ball track.
I like that wall. That's a nice wall there.
What wall?
So yeah, this out of bounds doesn't really skip anything in terms of like major items, but it's just a really nice shortcut.
Yeah,
So it skips a really large detour to go back to the light world, intended way. And since I'm out of bounds, I might as well get back in bounds and through this room and get this missile tank conveniently.
What he's doing is a door warp, which is lighting the remote around him and then touching the door, and he'll transition.
Yeah, so if you don't touch that door, you won't get the transition, because the game still thinks you're in the other room. Because
And
transitioning happens whenever you go when you go through a door. So when you play casually, you'll never notice it. Like
And as a reminder, the term for transition is basically telling the game you're in this room now. But yeah.
Honestly, it's really amazing how out of bounds works in the primes. It allows for a lot of interesting things. It works very different compared to other games. The aether jumping, door warping, ceiling warping.
Like it's really
boxes.
limited. As opposed to what a lot of you are saying, Out of Bounds is very limited in the Prime series. Like you can't just skip everything, but it's all limiting in a kind of an interesting way because you come up with a lot of cool strategies to navigate quickly if needed.
And optimizing out of bounds is kind of difficult.
All right, so now what I'm doing. Go for it.
Rip dash.
Yeah. So he is actually leaving Torvis the intended entrance, because he took the Sand Digger wall crawl to Torvis, skip this whole section, and it saves a bunch of time. And unfortunately, he has to go around the whole long way because there is a block that you have to shoot with light beam that is blocking a shortcut.
He's gonna come out of there at the very end of the run, so he needs to make sure he shoots them.
That's the strat I just came up with that I didn't practice, so as expected, that was sloppy.
So yeah, now he is over here. Normally, you're supposed to go through this section. There is a route that doesn't take Sand Digger and goes to this in the Dark World, which, by the way, you're supposed to have Dark Suit because this poison, these ink claws spew out this poison that deals a ton of damage very quickly. And then the trick's called Dark Suit Skip, and it's really bad.
But yeah, you can just skip Dark Suit by just using a ghetto jump instead of going out of bounds. It's one of the earliest skips found in Echoes, which is actually a really big skip at the time. It still is if you're not using out of bounds.
And it's called Dark Suit Skip because that was like the first time it was like a thing, and they really didn't want you to skip Dark Suit because that whole section past that door is just all poison. So.
Oh, by the way, I'm getting Seekers now, which I was supposed to get like a long time ago. As a reminder, Seeker Missiles is the upgrade I'm supposed to have to do basically anything at all in Lower Torvis, like 30 minutes ago.
You're supposed to get it now. I don't know what you're talking about.
So Seeker Missiles are an upgrade that allow you to fire missiles simultaneously, and they don't work 100% of the time.
Unless you're DCR.
Unless you're DCR and Tank. Oh, I missed it. Like that.
I think Echoes and both Echoes and Corruption don't have perfect Seekers. They're just, especially Echoes has a lot of, some of the Seeker locks are kind of in weird places. Especially the one going to Torvis from Agon is just.
Ironically, Other M probably has the best Seekers.
Actually.
I've legit never seen them miss.
You can't miss because it locks on for you.
Well, okay, I was watching Dragon Darch play Other M for the first time once, and he actually missed Seekers once. That's the only time I've ever seen Other M Seekers miss.
But yeah, he has Seekers, and it leads to I guess you could say early cleanup of Temple Grounds. He's gonna do a few rooms before he heads to Sanctuary. And he's gonna fight a hard boss.
Oh, this fight's really difficult.
Yeah, it's a very difficult fight. If you haven't seen a common trend, this fight is as difficult as Boost Guardian. Alright.
Hi. Bye.
So this is, I feel like, if I just may say quickly, this boss, I feel like, is a missed opportunity that they had. Like, this should have been the boss that gave you missiles, not a crate. That's just me. Anyway, he's back in the beginning area, and now he obviously did the whole item loss sequence. The missile that, there's a missile that spawns once you lose your items. Actually, once you reload the room, once the cutscene starts. And now he has the ability to collect it.
Yeah, this missile expansion doesn't exist until.
And this missile is the reason that currently item loss skip is not feasible 100%. If it were, 100% would be faster early game because you have items, of course.
Someone find the out of bounds in that room at the before the portal.
Yeah, just
all you have to 100%. There is out of bounds in that room, but it's behind the portal, and you need screw attack.
I mean, you'll have screw attack, but
yeah,
can't get back there because if you transition to the room at all, the cutscene will activate.
Alright, so I'm going through a part of Temple Grounds that I was already in before because, as ECR said, I'm basically doing a little bit of cleanup while going to Sanctuary. And lo and behold, I'm kind of going to Sanctuary, sort of an intended way-ish.
For once.
And I'm going through the front. That's the only intended thing I'm doing about this. Because the path I'm going to be taking requires power bombs, but I'm not supposed to have power bombs before entering Sanctuary. So this is just a really nice path to get to Sanctuary somewhat quickly while also collecting a lot of items on the way. But I only have one power bomb tank, so I need to blow this up, and then I need to get a power bomb drop from these guys.
Yeah, because of the power bomb drop, or because of the way drop rates work, you should be very likely to get a power bomb, and there it is.
You have 3 chances. You should never fail it.
So yeah, visit
I have.
Oh, that sucks. The game hates you.
Twice.
So, power that he got in the route I was mentioning earlier that doesn't do Sand Digger wall crawl. You do an out of bounds in the elevator. Oh, no, you don't. That's sweet. Sorry. You go out of bounds by jumping on a rock and jumping out, because the game is like that. And you basically wall crawl to this power bomb. You can get it early, and then you head to Torvis. And it basically allows you to have 2 power bombs for lower Torvis for Grapple Guardian, so you don't have to worry about luck in that case. It just makes it a little bit easier. I remember one run that you were watching, Kirby. I got 2 power bomb drops, and you were like, "What the heck, man?" Even though I
I
already
didn't
had
know
2
if that was a
power
power
bombs.
bomb drop or not, so I went back to check.
It wasn't.
Yeah. So I got unlucky. I wanted to get a power bomb drop from that crate, but I didn't
You
get one.
could get a power bomb drop from some of the other crates.
I could, but that's slow. Lazy. So it's a good backup power bomb drop is to kill this turret here, because this door is still loading, so it's good to kill this turret right now and get it. You don't really waste much time. Hopefully I got a power bomb drop. I didn't bother
You did.
checking if it was. Okay.
You did.
So,
it has a different sound, so
I'm gonna just mention this game's 100% route. Basically, the goal of actually really any category for Echoes is to get Secure Attack and Light Suit as fast as possible. 100% collects the items that are along the way, which are not too far away, which is, if you know, like Prime 100%, you collect a lot of the items before end game already, like on the way. There's not a lot of cleanup. Cleanup's shorter. Whereas this game, once you get Light Suit, then you enter a massive cleanup phase, which is because a lot of items in this game with the route you take is just not on the way at all, and it's just faster later on to get.
There's a bunch of pirates here, but I killed half of them with a power bomb, and I'm gonna abuse Dark Beam and how OP it is to clean them up.
Is it fair to say that Dark Beam is like the hyper mode of Prime 2?
Nah, I wouldn't say that, but it is the most useful beam. It
Yeah,
definitely is the most useful beam.
it's very good. Definitely gets the most use.
All right, so hey, there's this room introduces a mini quad. I don't remember the exact name, and you're supposed to kind of kill 2 parts of its body, but I don't like it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm just gonna jump on it.
They're
and
called
leave.
quads.
Bye. Wow, I actually cut those jumps pretty quickly. Those jumps I did there are kind of annoying to do.
Oh yeah, there's a barrier now that will never ever disappear. So
So like you're supposed to be locked into that room by a red barrier until you kill that quad. But since I just skipped it and that quad's not going to show up again, those red barriers are going to be there for the rest of the game. And they also blocks off a save station. So effectively, I screwed myself out of a save station.
But
matter.
you're good.
It shouldn't matter in speedrun.
By the time you come back to this, yeah, by the time you come back to this room, you've already done all the hard dark atmosphere rooms already, so it's not a big deal. Because by the time you come back, by the time you come back here, yeah, that is true. So like, you've already done the hardest death parts, I should say. If that makes sense. So once you get Light Suit, it's very nice.
Light Suit is just like the biggest relief when you're playing Prime 2 once you get Light Suit.
And I think that's a good thing. It just makes it feel rewarding. In my opinion, at least. It's also
So
the
if you
coolest suit in the game, aesthetically, in my
So if you
opinion.
notice, before he entered the oh wait, what is that thing in there? Was that a key? I've never seen those before.
What key?
But yeah, he noticed when he entered the portal. Before he did that, he laid a power bomb to break the glass. That's for later on.
Yeah, almost every Metroid game with power bombs has a glass tube you break. Actually, almost pretty much all of them do,
Pretty much.
except Other M, I think.
Yeah. Iconic thing. Although Prime doesn't. I don't think Prime.
Oh crap, that's not hit.
So yeah, what he's doing here, he's actually activating these secret locks from here. What you're supposed to do is actually kill all the enemies and then grapple across, then hit it from the other side to unlock this portal, but you can activate it from over here and it warps you over to the other side of the room.
Or sorry, it's very convenient. Kirby, I hope you're going for Grand Abyss.
What is that?
Please try it.
I'll go for it. This run's dead anyway. Like, I'm not gonna PB with
This
it,
run's
so I'll go
dead.
for it. I'm gonna go for it.
So you should know that he's going inbounds. In any percent and low percent, there is a trick called puzzles. I don't know what to call it.
We call it gyro skip.
Gyro skip. Basically allows you to skip this puzzle. It doesn't save you a huge amount of time, but it cuts out having to do this puzzle. And you basically you do a door warp. You activate the puzzle. You move the boost off on the other side. And now here is a set of square thing of different patterns, and you line it up. There's a trick. I actually forgot the order.
Yeah,
but...
this you cannot skip this in 100% because if you skip it, then you can no longer get the power bomb expansion.
I'm just gonna take a safety save just in case. You never know.
I mean, you could fail that trick.
So, what you're supposed to do now is actually head to the temple, get Cobalt, and then go fight Spider Guardian. But Kirby's actually going to perform a very big sequence break very soon.
It doesn't look like a sequence break, but it is one of the biggest breaks in the game.
It's going to skip everything leading up to Screw Attack, so he's going to get Screw Attack next.
And it's supposed to be the last upgrade you get before fighting the main boss.
It's a common thing, like, it doesn't look big, but it's a big sequence break. Right here is a roll jump. If you hit the trigger on the other side, you get spawned over there, and that skips a very annoying auto-scroller boss.
This skips basically all of Sanctuary, basically. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. You skip everything you need to get the Screw Attack. Well, most.
The boss that I'm referring to is called Caretaker Drone.
What is that?
What's a Caretaker Drone?
What did I say? It was if Incinerator Drone and Hive Mecha had a kid. It's pretty bad. It's just boring. And it's unskippable in Trilogy.
Let's see if he can get this.
Yeah. If I got the floaty, that would have worked.
Ah.
Oh well. That's a one-time trick, and it's the fastest way to skip Grapple Beam.
For any percent, it's very worth it. It saves the route saves what, 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
You save a crap ton of time.
But 100% is not. It's not as big a deal because you have grapple. So if you miss it, you lose a bunch of time. But it's still nice to go for once you get it down.
Because it still does save a chunk of time at 100%.
Also here, Kirby just skipped a puzzle or a spider ball track because he doesn't have spider ball, and allows him to get to the portal early.
Right. So that's like the second half of the skip to basically get Screw Attack without doing anything else in Sanctuary. Again,
that's actually
like much.
That's actually possible on Wii, and it's horrible.
I can believe that.
So yeah, now he's crossing Judgment Drop, which is the Dark World version of Grand Abyss, which you need grapple for. You mentioned for the fastest 80% route, you have to pull off the Grand Abyss dash, otherwise it runs over. But you can wall crawl, but it's a few minutes slower. But it's still faster than grapple.
Yeah, you have to, for that dash, you have to do a bent floaty dash, which is basically a floaty dash is when you jump within a 3-frame window off leaving the ledge. And to bend the dash, you have to hold forward before pressing R. So it's a tricky dash, and those robots will never appear ever again.
Don't fail vault dash.
Kirby practice vault dash.
Practice vault dash.
Oh, Kirby.
I'd say I would go for it once.
Again, common theme with this game. It's a sequence break, but it doesn't look like much. Basically, he's going to dash or roll jump across.
That should have made it.
And it skips having to go to the Dark World and saving a lot of time. Normally, you have to go to the Dark World, cross a pit with grapple, go back to the Light World.
Why is this? Well, those things happen, I guess.
Fair enough.
There we go. You're supposed to get the camera stuck there when rotating like that.
Oh, that's what you do. Okay.
Oops.
Yeah, for some reason it's not position based, it's camera based. Like if the camera is looking at the platform when you fall, you'll get spawned up there. Which you have to
That's
do
what
that.
it is.
Yeah, you have to do that for max percent no space jump because you can't make the platforms. And just manipulating where the camera goes, you can force yourself to spawn.
And normally you're supposed to go back to the dark world to get back to the main center area, but just dash and the game will
Oh,
think
rip.
you will be on the main bridge.
Darn, you
Accurate
can't-
terminal fall.
You can't go for grapple glitch. Aw.
Grapple glitch, bro.
I'm sad, dude. Grapple glitch, what I'm mentioning, is basically, it's fun to do. When you're going through a portal, and it works in this room, you basically turn around and lock onto grapple point, but before it attaches, you go through the portal, and when you come back into the light world, you'll have grapple still going, and her arm will just be sticking out for no reason. It's really funny looking.
Oh, whoops. Wait, where am I? Okay, I'm an idiot. I don't know what I was thinking. Brain farts happen.
You know what I'm thinking about?
Grand Abyss.
I'm thinking about maybe saying a little something about the marathon we're currently doing right now.
Oh, go for it. This is a good time.
Yeah, hey guys, welcome everybody to the California Fire Relief Marathon. This is a marathon that is dedicated to helping out American Red Cross with their wildfire relief campaign. Almost all of the money is going to go to some form of fire relief project, to either helping people that have no homes to live in, getting them food, clothing, or even help repairing some general destroyed areas in towns affected by wildfires. One such area recently, a couple months ago, was affected so greatly that they lost half their school, several buildings and businesses, and died. So anything that you can donate is greatly appreciated. It's all going towards a great cause.
Donate, donate, donate.
Yeah, I've heard a bit about the devastation there. It's really bad. So it's a great thing this marathon's happening. Oh, this res bit's a little weird, or this quad I should say is a little weird. For some reason, that specific quad, if you kill the head before the legs, it'll spawn another head. I have no idea why.
Yeah, so you need to kill the legs first, as opposed to other quads where you can kill the head first and be fine.
So it is kind of funny to mention now. Kirby is finally going to be getting the first upgrade of Sanctuary Fortress after getting the second to last upgrade.
Oh, you gonna play the message?
Oh, frick, I forgot.
Darn it!
Oh, I
Come
forgot. I completely forgot. I just let muscle memory take over to mash through that.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. Wait. I don't think he's gonna read it again, is he?
Check. Let's see.
No, you probably won't.
Nah. I figured.
Well-
Oh crap, I can't skip this because I never read it before on this memory card. No!
Hear the words of O'Lear, last sentinel, the fortress temple. May they serve you well.
Could you explain where that meme came from?
So Miles was did 255% once, and so he had to watch that cutscene and see that phrase 155 times.
Because he wanted to dupe Cobalt Translator since it's the easiest translator to dupe. So you have to keep seeing that over and over and over again. Like, he has a YouTube video on how it works, and his entire YouTube comment section is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, so this is the room that I was mentioning that you get more fallen vulnerability. You have the room on the temple, and you use the cannon that he passed before, and you load up the temple access, and you get MBI. And now coming up is Spider Guardian.
Actually, speaking of Morphball and vulnerability, there's one enemy in Sanctuary that takes 4 times damage to...
Really?
I think it's the res bits that take 4 times damage.
So here's Spider Guardian, a cool boss in design, but is really obnoxious.
Yeah, this is my least favorite boss in
It's
a run.
everyone's least favorite boss.
Can you morph ball?
Like, the design of it's really cool, but it's just this stupid stuff that it's sometimes hard to hit him. His hitbox is way too big for no reason. Which is one of the
Trilogy.
Yeah, one of the positive things about Trilogy is made his hitbox within just him, not just through platforms because the hell like it. But it's really just optimizing this fight is the hard part.
And that is what happens if you mess up a quick kill. It's very, very bad.
You lose a lot of time if you fail this.
Yeah.
And I messed up the back strat.
I think this one is the third part is definitely the...
What? That didn't finish him? Oh,
yeah,
well.
this one is definitely the worst part of the fight.
What?
There we go.
So fun
So
fact.
the bombs I put there actually hit him from there, which is very
I
nice.
did not know that.
That's the backup strat I accidentally found. I'm like, hey, bombs hit him from there, apparently. Okay, well that's nice if I mess up the strat.
So it's good to mention right now that he has power bombs, but if you use power bomb on Spider Guardian, it kills it instantly, which is a bad thing because you're soft locked.
You can't get out.
Yeah, like you see those blue barriers? You're supposed to use those to damage him, but those never disappear and you're basically screwed. So don't power bomb Spider Guardian. I did lose a run once by accidentally pressing Y. And I'm like, oh god, did I seriously just do that?
Yeah, 'cause reminder, even this part of the game, you're still not supposed to have power bombs yet.
Yeah, you're supposed to get power bombs after beating Spider Guardian.
And then make the long track back to get the power bombs.
Yep. You're supposed to go all the way back to Lower Torvis to get them.
It's kind of cool they gave you like a subtle hint. Like you get Spider Ball and then you see this power bomb door. It's like, oh. But yeah, power bomb is next. But Kirby's actually gonna save power bomb Guardian to clean up because he already has power bombs and there's no point in going all the way there just to come back.
The only reason you need the main power bomb expansion is because there's a Sky Temple key in Dark Aegon that doesn't spawn until you have main power bombs, which
Yeah, we'll get
might
to
be a
that
good
when
idea. Yeah,
You'll get to that
we
when
should
it
probably also
accessible.
explain Sky Temple keys.
That's
Yeah, that's kind of like the main goal of the game. To access the final Fauna area, you have to get all 9 Sky Temple keys. And to get pretty much any of them, you have to have Dark Visor and Light Suit for most of them.
You need Dark Visor for all of them. You need Light Suit for like I think 7 of them.
So since Kirby has power bombs, he can enter this door, and what he's gonna do is actually get his first Sky Temple key, and then come back.
Which is really nice, because like getting the Sky Temple key later is a really annoying detour. Like I mean, you can skip this entire boss fight and go out of bounds and get the Sky Temple key, but
Also-
it's still a detour.
It's also nice because you don't come this direction ever again, so
Mhm.
you want to get it out of the way.
By the way,
What's up?
we just $200
Ooh.
donation.
Ooh,
Yeah, bopping cool Maddie. It's McPeanuts saying, put this towards Plague Knight because Tolu doesn't want to run it and I want him to suffer.
Making runners suffer is one of my favorite ways to donate. One of my favorite reasons to donate. That's how you word it.
If he did want to do it, he wouldn't.
All right, so I got Spider Guardian, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and fight the main boss of Sanctuary.
Yeah, he's gonna bypass the Echo Visor until after because it is faster, and with an out of bounds, well, it is Prime 2. You can just skip it.
Yeah, like I'm supposed to go get power bombs next, and then come back and get Echo Visor, and then get Screw Attack. But I already have power bombs and Screw Attack, so I can just go ahead to the fight.
and you don't need Echo Visor or the Dark Temple keys in this one.
Yeah, you don't need, like even without out of bounds, you can skip the Dark Temple keys completely, and it saves so much time.
You could do it inbounds as well.
Yeah, without out of bounds, you can do it with the BSJ.
Because for some reason, they're like, okay, Agon, this temple, let's modify the room. Torvis, let's modify the room. Sanctuary, leave it. So it's the same design room, the same gate, the same everything. So you can just jump right over the gate with the bomb space jump. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like there's no check for the 3 keys.
And
Yeah.
even if they made the wall higher, you could still do it from out of bounds. So Kirby has to do this out of bounds to skip the Echo Gate. And
Yeah.
are you gonna get the music or no?
Why wouldn't I?
Oh yeah, you gotta do it.
Gotta do it. And this is how you skip the keys inbounds.
What's the key?
I don't know.
Oh hey, I just skipped all the sanctuary keys. Good job.
Looks easy.
Here's the collision I was
It is
talking
actually
about.
easy.
But yeah.
Getting in bounds isn't. If you fail
So
that.
I should mention, Kirby is going to start the fight from inbounds because you want to hear the music. For some reason, if you activate the fight from another room, it plays the music like the I don't know, the ambient calm music, which is actually the cutscene music, I think. And basically you don't hear the epic Quadraxis theme.
Ew. Drops.
Fortunately, I got really good drops before the fight, so I'm not worried.
Yeah, exactly. So
So this fight is a kind of a barrier for new runners because like you're constantly losing health, and the AI manipulation is not obvious.
just to give an idea, to beat this the first time took me like 6 hours.
You're supposed to have Dark Suit and probably like over 9 E-tanks, but I don't have Dark Suit and I only have like 5 E-tanks. So I'm relying completely on drops.
And the thing is, with this fight, which I think a lot of people just forget, even when they're running, I would say, even if you don't get good drops from the knees, if you destroy the feet, you also can get good drops.
Yeah.
So this fight, although may seem scary at first, once you understand how it works and how to get drops and manipulating him, this fight is really simple.
Yeah, like I was staying near his feet to manipulate him to either keep turning or keep stomping and not use any other move.
But this is probably if you're gonna die at all, this is probably
First
This
phase
probably
is the
the-
main part to die.
yeah.
Rest aren't that hard.
Although I have died at the third phase because I've missed some.
Oh, I've died too.
Bad. And you're supposed to have Echo Visor for this, but
You can just manually aim.
you just aim at him.
Yeah, like you don't need
Also-
to screw attack, but like it's just nice because it destroys antenna immediately.
Yeah.
The other part is if you screw attack, you take damage as if you have Dark Suit.
From the Dark World.
In the Dark World, yeah.
So, so to reiterate, while I'm screw attacking, I only take 1.2 damage per second instead of 6. Right now.
And then the next phase is by far the most simple phase in that you basically just stun him and then boost off the spider tracks onto his head and bomb him twice.
Yeah, the direction he floats in is random, but I try to get him in a spot where no matter which direction he floats in, I can always boost to him, right like that. And I have a visual cue for that. And hopefully he'll go this way. Let's see. I'm not gonna make that. Oh, whoa, I did, okay. Wow, that was probably the best fight I've ever done, like ever, to be honest. Not even gonna lie.
And
I
also,
was very
yeah,
surprised that
fight.
worked.
also he has Dark Suit. Wait, what? He doesn't really have Dark Suit. The game, you're supposed to have Dark Suit here, but so the
I should've
cutscene
played that.
shows Dark Suit.
I should have played that cutscene out, it's pretty funny. Because it shows you rolling around in Dark Suit when I don't have Dark Suit.
Nothing beats the when you have Light Suit and you're entering Agon portal for the first time, and you take it shows her taking damage, even though she has Light Suit. That's funny too. So yeah, now he is done with the last major boss for a while, and he's going to be entering the cleanup phase once he, actually right now, essentially.
Well, this
This is
game,
basically cleanup.
you normally are you're supposed to get the energy from all 3 areas, and then bring them back to get Light Suit. The game only checks for the last one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice bomb skip.
Thank you. Now, this screw attack here is deceptively difficult because there's a bunch of tiny bars surrounding the platform I want to land on. I don't think... maybe? Okay, I made it.
Oh, Beam is so cool.
That was close.
That was pretty close.
If he bonked, he wouldn't have made it.
Depends on where I bonk, because sometimes if you bonk a specific part of the wall, then you automatically angle yourself perpendicular, so you'll always land.
Okay,
It
so
depends on where
Kirby's
you bomb.
screw attacking here because this room takes forever to load, and when you screw attack, you take less damage.
Yeah. When
You
you
also
screw
pass
attack-
through a bunch of ink storms,
Yeah.
and need to go prep to the damage.
I should note that when you screw attack in this game, well, you're supposed to have Dark Suit when you get screw attack. So when you screw attack, you're taking the damage as if you had Dark Suit, even if you don't. So you can abuse that, like for example there when it's loading, so you don't take as much damage.
It is very nice.
Because just for reference, with Various Suit, you take you take damage from Dark Aether's atmosphere about 6 damage per second, versus with Dark Suit, it's about 1.1 damage per second.
1.2, but yeah.
1.2, yeah. It's just significantly less. Which
Oh yeah,
is
this
why...
is why beam ammo is needed. Because Annihilator Beam, and actually all 3 of the beams are insanely broken.
Yeah, I've missed this beam ammo before. I've forgotten it before. I mean,
Yep, my first run forgot this.
yeah, this is you have to do this part, but it's not that bad. He's still skipping the first half of the puzzle.
Oh, by the way, those 2 red spots like in between or like above and below the spider track actually tell you when you should bomb.
I kind of like that little tip there. Like if you're observant enough, you'll notice. Oh, this is when I put down a bomb.
I didn't know that until like my 4th or 5th run that got here, and it was the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
if you
so
want to make
now
those bomb shots more consistent, you want to clean yourself up to the top as well.
So now
Anyways.
Kirby is going to be heading towards Echo Visor, which he's supposed to get before, but you know he kind of went out of bounds. And this is the last upgrade of Sanctuary, I think.
Yeah, this is the last major upgrade I'm getting in Sanctuary. Yeah. Oh, god damn it.
Did you fall?
Sorry about that.
Oh my goodness!
How did that?
How did you fall?
Well then, that could be problematic.
Another, really the big reason why it's faster to skip Echo Visor after, it's not really, you're not losing time in the fight itself. It's faster because after you come back to the Light World, come back here, you can get Echo Visor, and then when you come back in, you already have Annihilator Beam, so you can already get the Power Bomb expansion here. Whereas normally you have to get Echo Visor, go fight Quad, come back, and then you have to return to this room later. So it's a little bit slower.
Right. So I am going to Echo Visor, but I'm supposed to beat Dark Samus too. Even though this is my first time fighting her. And I need Dark Ammo, because Dark Samus is weak to Dark Ammo.
For some weird reason.
It kind of makes sense if you think about it, because she is a light creature originally. They only call her Dark. I guess the developers called her Dark only because Dark sounds cooler than Phase-on Samus. But yeah, she is Dark to Dark Beam. Weak to Dark Beam.
Weak to Dark Beam.
Dark to Dark Beam. Huh.
Oh, she didn't roll.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
I expected her to roll, so I didn't react quickly enough.
I think she rolls more often than not. Also, this is the first time you get to really see Screw Attack being used as a major way of doing damage to bosses. Actually, it's kind of funny. You see it to both Dark Samus, just to do a little preview. So as Kirby's doing is manipulating Dark Samus, doing a lot of damage, and making this fight go really fast.
Yeah, I mean, Screw Attacks could have been better, but still, that fight was okay.
Yeah, combination of Dark Beam, Charge Dark Beam, and Screw Attack.
She takes a lot of damage to Dark Beam. Because the idea with Dark Beam is that when you hit something with a charged Dark Beam, there's like a lot of ooze particles that pop out. So whatever you hit, if they stay stationary, those ooze particles will continuously damage that. So like if you want to hit Dark Samus with a charged Dark Beam shot, you want her to stay still so the ooze particles hit her. But if she's moving, then you're not going to do as much damage.
So now Kirby's gonna do a little skip here on the spider track, where you boost off the spider track, and by doing so, you can skip rotating it.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite skips in the game.
That is really easy.
That is one of those tricks where it is very easy. Like it is as easy as it looks, on like 90% of the run.
Pretty much everything else.
Yeah.
You just bomb jump, hold up, and then use boost ball.
All right, so we've gotten every major upgrade in Sanctuary now. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and clean up Upper Sanctuary. I have everything I need to get everything here, and then go get Light Suit. And this is also the coolest elevator cutscene in the game. Too bad you only see it like this one time.
Yeah, so there's actually one room for some reason where if you don't shoot down the Echo Lock, all the Echo Locks, they don't appear ever again, and the door is locked. There's nothing you can do. You pretty much screwed your game.
you've soft locked, and that's actually a commonly known soft lock.
Wait, where is this?
Caretaker drone.
Oh,
Room and caretaker drone.
What, I did the wrong order. I'm stupid.
wait, what boss is that?
I don't know.
It's the
Something
Echo
is-
Locks in the same room as caretaker drone. You don't worry about it if you're not sequence breaking. Or you don't need to worry about it if you're sequence breaking. You don't ever deal with it.
All right, so I'm gonna do another small skip here. There's a puzzle in this room where you're supposed to shoot an echo lock to unlock it, and also unlock a cannon. But I'm just gonna do a BSJ into a screw attack to skip that. And get this missile tank.
It's the same concept as the skipping the dark temple keys and bounds.
Same
It is
room.
pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Like the BSJ is exactly the same.
Yeah.
So now Kirby is going to return the energy, get, I think, what, one more item?
Missile
I
expansion.
don't remember.
I think one
like,
more item. Oh no, one or
should be,
two.
like two missile tanks, a power bomb tank, and an energy tank. I think.
Oh yeah,
Two power bomb tanks.
No, 3 missile tanks. Sorry, it's 3.
Yeah, 3 missile tanks, 2 power bomb tanks,
Basically, I'm getting a lot of stuff on the way out.
and an energy tank.
The annoying part about the route is that like you need light suit to get a sky temple key in dark lower sanctuary, and you also need light suit to get a missile tank. So like, you can't get everything in one trip before light suit. So I do have to come back to lower sanctuary during cleanup just to get those 2 items. But upper sanctuary is going to be completely cleaned up, so I'm never going to come back here again.
That one light teleporting. Ugh.
What about it?
Oh, the one that outside of Torvis.
Oh,
I hate that thing. I hate the way it's positioned so much.
So there's these 2 enemies besides me where you're supposed to use Seekers on them because they have 2 legs and you need to shoot them both simultaneously. I've died in this room before with 5 E-tanks. Because some of their shots do 30 damage and they can
do
combo
a
the crap
lot
out
of
of you.
damage.
Like I came in here with like 4 energy tanks, I think. And I'm already at 2. So if I'm lower on health, I would have killed them.
I play this room very safe. I just kill them.
Yeah, they're very scary. In retrospect, I probably should have saved recently because there's a very, very tiny chance this room will crash when you exit. It's happened to me in 2 runs in the past like 4 years, but hopefully it won't happen. Okay, cool, it didn't.
Thanks, I can let my breath go.
I know it can crash. I know it does crash if you
If you enter that room the other way without fighting Caretaker Drone, it will crash. Because like you're not supposed to be in that room in the first place until after you beat Caretaker Drone.
Wasn't there a thing where like if you shoot the door, like the lower door, like it does that?
Yeah, like the door I just came out of, you can shoot it that way. Also, I skipped the spider ball puzzle to get a missile tank, and I'm gonna skip a really long puzzle in this room to get a power bomb tank. And I just messed up the ghetto jump. This is a ghetto jump into a screw attack, and it's not terribly difficult, but without practice, it's kind of tricky because it's kind of tight.
Yeah, this basically skips. This room is a massive. It's a one-way room in the Dark World, but it's basically a massive portal room. Like you just keep going to Dark and Light World
About 4 times, I think.
to climb the room.
Yeah, so that saves a bunch of time.
A lot of real time, especially.
Yeah. So now he's gonna get one more E-tank and a power bomb expansion, and then he's out of here.
Oh,
See if he gets on
okay,
this.
that's not a big deal. It's not a big deal to miss that trick because you come back to the exact same door a second time.
Oh, you're getting it later. Okay.
So
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna get it later because I messed that up.
I thought you were gonna get it with a BSJ.
And
you don't
you're
really-
better off not just doing the same thing again second time.
I mean, you don't need it like now, and like you're good. And so now you're supposed to have already left through this area after Spider Guardian to go to Torvis.
Okay, Dark Samus.
But yeah, so now you see the Dark Samus cutscene, which is kind of funny.
This is a really cool room where you're supposed to use Spider Ball to cross this gap, and it's the game's way of saying, okay, we're gonna test your skills with Spider Ball that you just got recently to get out of here. But, I mean, obviously we don't need it because we have Power Bombs already and we have Screw Attack. Which is kind of unfortunate because the spider puzzle, the spider tracks in this room are really cool.
Yeah, this is a really cool room.
Yeah, this shows off the new technique that was added to Prime 2, which is you can boost off of spider tracks.
Okay, let's see what Kirby does here.
Fun fact: this cannon's weird in that if you shoot the cannon and then get out of it, the shot doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it disappears, I think. That's why I was waiting a few extra seconds, just in case that backup shot missed.
Whereas the one in Agon that you're supposed to get the
Okay, so yeah, he screw attacked onto a standable spot on the other side and then did another screw attack to get to the cannon. There is a very tight ghetto jump you can do off the spider track.
Yes, and that barely makes it. But it
is very difficult.
And now he's finally leaving Sanctuary.
Yeah, Upper Sanctuary is completely cleaned up. I'm done with Upper Sanctuary. As mentioned before, I will need to return to Lower Sanctuary later. But it's probably the fastest cleanup segment because I've already collected so many things from it in that area. Okay, so that you saw that giant yellow beam of light. The purpose of that is that they basically teleport you, but only if you have light suit. So that beam I just passed by leads to an energy tank.
Yeah, you get that energy tank at the very end of the game.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of an unfortunate detour. There isn't really much you can do about it.
Just received a quick $12 snipe from Metasigma.
Oh, I see Metasigma in chat there. Everyone be sure to spam reflexes. Oh, by the way, I just saved 1 second over PAL version. That rubble right there, you cannot boost through it in PAL. That is the only time lost from speedrunning on PAL version for this game.
They didn't want you going fast.
They don't want you to go fast.
It was the dire patch. Like they had to do it. It was game breaking, but they couldn't patch other things like going through walls. No.
Yeah, it's so random to make it so that you can only bomb that in PAL version, whereas in NTSC you can both bomb it and just boost through it.
So now he's getting light suit, which is an awesome item. And then he already started cleanup, and now cleanup you could say officially begins. He has light suit.
Light suit is really cool looking.
It's my favorite suit.
Yeah,
it's my favorite suit aesthetically.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Phazon suit a lot and PED suit with hazard shield, but light suit beats them in my opinion.
The other thing is like light suit adds so much. It's like you no longer take damage in Dark World or Dark Aether. You can go through beams of light and you can go into poison water.
Mm-hmm. So the thing about poison water is that not only are you immune to it, but like the game basically puts an invisible floor beneath the poison water until you get light suits. It's like you just cannot go in poison water until you get light suit.
And I believe there is some way to get in there if you go out of bounds, but then you can't get out.
Yeah. Also, this is the one door in the game where you do not hit a load trigger. Right there. That's where I just hit. Assuming you don't go out of bounds. You have to go get close to the door and shoot it in order to load the room. It's not really noticeable because it takes like 1 second to load. But yeah. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is go to Lower Torvis, which is important because a while ago, Xanthian talked about Power Bomb Guardian, which gives you the main Power Bomb upgrade. Now, that boss, defeating that boss and getting the main Power Bomb upgrade lets the Sky Temple Key show up in Agon. That Sky Temple Key never shows up until you beat this boss and get the upgrade. So I want to do that as early as possible. So when I get to Agon, I can get that Sky Temple Key.
Yeah, that's the reason why you come to Torvis first.
And there's kind of a similar thing in Prime 1 where one of the artifacts requires blowing up a glass container, but with a power bomb. But that glass container you cannot destroy with the power bomb until you get the main power bomb upgrade.
Yeah,
so it is flat out impossible to get that artifact until you get the main power bomb.
On before you get the main power bombs. the trigger for actually blowing that up doesn't exist.
All right, so I'm going to be demonstrating a technique called sticky boost. So basically, when you're on a spider track and you hang off the very edge of one, and then you boost off of it, you can kind of boost parallel to the spider track, which is useful in a few specific spots, but it's most useful in this boss fight coming up, which I'll be demonstrating hopefully.
I've actually hit the ceiling of that room using the screw attack things. I've actually hit the very top of the room before.
So that
That
missile,
was a sticky boost. That's
that
another
missile right there, Kirby got, is the worst missile of max percent no SJ.
one. I believe that.
Just because
That last sticky boost I did is really annoying. Whoa! That damage boost. Whoa!
Whoa!
So-
Whoa! Whoa!
What
I
the
just got hit
heck?
again. What is this game doing? Whoa! All right. All right. All right. Okay.
Alright.
Samus was having a little adventure there. She was feeling a bit adventurous in Morphball.
So one thing to note, which is funny about this fight, which happened to me once, is, I know it's like a joke, because like Powerbomb is like, this is a Guardian, right? But you can actually have it so Powerbomb Guardian shoots a Powerbomb at the door. So it's a
Yeah.
good Guardian, right?
The door is blocked by a powerbomb gate, and powerbomb guardian can blow it up for you. It's happened to me like twice.
I've also
Powerbomb deals powerbomb type damage.
But it only deals 10 damage to you.
Yeah, where your powerbomb deals like what?
A lot of damage per frame.
Yeah, like 30 something damage per frame.
I don't know the numbers.
I remember one time Powerbomb Guardian shot a Powerbomb when I was on the floor, and it went straight through the floor.
Actually, I think I've seen that happen before.
But yeah, now he has Powerbombs, and he's gonna clean up. It's really, actually, I think,
Yeah, I got the main powerbomb upgrade after getting 5 powerbomb expansions.
yeah. But now he's going to get one item from Lower Torvus. Well, it's really a Sky Temple key, and then he's gonna collect a few items in Lower Torvus before he heads to Upper Torvus. Or actually, he doesn't go to Upper Torvus yet.
I'll go to Sanctuary next. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm basically cleaning up Lower Torvus. And there's a few puzzle skips I'm going to do. This is also my favorite part in the run. Annihilator Beam automatically homes in on stuff. And there's a bunch of fishies there. And they like giving ammo. So if you just spam Annihilator Beam, then you get a crap ton of ammo. And it's really satisfying.
It is the reason to run 100%.
Goodbye, Alpha Blog. It was nice meeting you.
Alpha block.
Yeah,
Alright,
if you
so
look.
this room coming up, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to blow up a floor to unlock a half pipe. And then activate these 2 bomb slots, but I'm not going to bother doing that. And this is a little bit tricky to do, especially if you want to make an early cycle.
I can make this. I can make you feel a little bit better.
Ah,
Yeah,
bummer.
I can make you feel a little bit better about this room.
Ooh.
You have to do. You can do this on Wii as well.
That doesn't
Hopefully.
surprise me actually. Like you
I
don't.
mean, it's
really
not
do much
hard. It's,
Special.
it's exactly the same concept. There's no difference.
All right. I could have played it safe and went for the other half because the other side, but I was trying to go for a fast cycle, which saves a few cycles. Ooh, whoops. Dang it. Well then.
Yes, this room is kind of tricky to do fast.
Because like getting onto the spider track like this is, as I demonstrated, not super trivial. Because like you can't holding R triggers spider ball, but you can't do it when you're directly behind the track, or else you'll just kind of stick onto the back of the track, and you don't want that. You need to kind of roll around it and then stick onto the front of the track.
It's good to
Doing
know
it's
that
a lot
using that
easier.
cannon is faster.
Yeah, the cannon is very fast.
Using that.
I want to wait
every
for it to
time I
start
screw up this
moving
room,
and
which
then
is
roll
freaking
around
weird.
like that.
It's
You
a
can also
pro-
do a bomb jump, but it's just another technique.
By the way, if we got a moment here, I'd like to make a particular shout out to Voligen, whose channel we're currently occupying for this marathon.
What am I
Big-
doing? Sorry.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what am I doing? Thanking Voligen. What am I thinking?
Yeah, screw that Falugian guy. No, I'm joking. Go on.
Yeah, but one cool thing Voligen is doing on top of letting us use his channel is any ad revenue or subs that are made to his channel, he is going to donate to the Red Cross. So please.
So it's
I
worth
don't know what I was
noting.
thinking.
It's worth noting that they thought it was super important to lock up this missile behind annihilator doors.
Oh
Don't know
yeah,
why.
this hall has annihilator doors on both sides.
It's the secret
For
missile.
like no reason.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I guess they also didn't want you to go across the two rooms
Yeah.
until you get the annihilator beam. 'Cause they do have crucial puzzles, sort of, ish. One side does.
Yeah, Lower Torvis is as you skipped it before, it's a long, lengthy.
That bomb jump is
like-
way trickier than it looks.
It's not a super hard bomb jump, but it is a scary one because you fall down, you have to kind of climb all the way back up again.
That's true. Nice. Skip the bomb.
Okay. So I'm
And
entering
nice
this portal
one.
here
Getting a
because
Sky Temple key.
yeah, there's a Sky Temple key in this room called the dungeon, and this is the only reason you come to this room. There's nothing else. Besides the scan of an enemy that only shows up in this room.
Which enemy's that?
Guys. I think they only show up in this
Oh,
room.
those things.
I don't think they should appear anywhere else.
I don't think so.
Alright.
Did you just make the noise that you normally get to? Did it make the noise you get for a missile expansion or an energy tank?
Nope. Although I could be mishearing things. I never
Because
know.
it did not play the normal Sky Temple music
Ow.
or Sky Temple key
My
music.
hearing
or-
sucks.
Yeah, that can happen. It just glitches out.
I've never heard that before.
Someone mentioned Crystallis in chat. Yeah, you should watch that, even if you don't know anything about the run or the game, because Dragon Arch is a cool guy, and the run itself is pretty interesting.
It's
It's
not
not too long.
Draken.
Who is it again?
I said, and it's not Draken.
Oh. Oh, so there's actually a minor skip I'm gonna do here that saves like a half second.
No, this is funny.
Got it. Okay, so the game never checks if you actually use that bomb slot. All you need to do is get near it. And then the game thinks, oh, well, you activated the bomb slot, so we're just gonna activate the current to get that energy tank anyways. So by doing a little boost there, you skip having to use the bomb slot and it saves like a second. Crystallis. Yeah, my bad. Alright, so I'm basically done with Lower Torvis. This is the last upgrade in Lower Torvis, and I'm gonna go to Sanctuary. I need to remember to get an energy tank that I didn't get because I failed to get on the Respite's shield to do the skip. Oops. Be lucky Darsh didn't hear that.
Yeah, he's probably mad at me now. By the way, quick $10 donation from DCR, Magoo.
Magoo. Magoo is the best cat. Thank you for the donation, DCR. I don't see him in chat. Where is he?
He's with us right here. Right here, dude.
In spirit.
There it is,
In
Magoo.
spirit. Oh, there's the Magoo. Okay, cool.
All right, so now he's back in Sanctuary to get like 2 items.
I mean, technically like 3 or 4, but like I could have gotten half of these earlier.
Is Magoo a name for something? Am I supposed to write this down somewhere?
I proved to be knowledge. Oh
Oops.
man. Magoo is Magoo.
What's going on here? What?
Whoa!
That's never happened before. Okay, game.
What did you read? You are Mark Kirby.
This is a speed run. I'm kind of concerned I might not beat the estimate at this rate. Things like that keep happening. Well then,
It's all in good fun.
I'm not gonna lie. I would rather have like a fun, not as good run than a really good run. Oh, whoops. Okay, I'm going.
I did not know you could do that.
There we go. This is one of the coolest strats in the game. Right there. You intentionally bonk to get extra height. I don't know who came up with it. The first time I've seen it was in Miles' old run for this category.
Oh wow, I forgot exactly what we were supposed to do now as part of the run. It's been a while. Okay.
And this is a missile tank where you're supposed to kind of go through inside the tunnel, inside these walls, and go through all these morphle tunnels and puzzles, but I just skipped all of that with an instant morph against Spider Track.
Yeah, the puzzle's kind of lengthy.
It's a really cool puzzle, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's really cool how they hit all these morphle tracks in the wall that you never notice until you actually go through them, but unfortunately, we skip it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of Echo's strong points. Is they have really good puzzles. Actually,
Echoes has really cool puzzles, and Echoes was very innovative with how you use morph ball all around.
really cool puzzles, really cool bosses, really cool music,
And visually just distinct.
and a really cool speed game.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
Like, I mean, out of the 3 Prime games, I would definitely say Echoes has like the most distinctive rooms. It's like Prime 1 and Corruption have their fair share of repetitive halls.
Yeah. Also, the dark world also adds another cool element to it.
Yeah, some people would argue that the Dark World is kind of unnecessary padding, and while I can kind of see that, the Echoes is still a pretty big game without the Dark World. Like,
Yeah.
you can have an entire game without the Dark World and still have a more than functional Metroid game.
It wouldn't be the same, but yeah. So here's that sky. There's the Dark Temple cave.
But yeah, that was the Dark
goes.
Temple key we just passed by. I don't know
It
where
goes
we used it
somewhere,
for.
but yeah, whatever. Two.
Rip Dark Temple keys.
So Kirby is heading towards the Sky Temple key that he mentioned earlier, which is one of the reasons why we can't do this all in one trip, because of a light beam.
This is just a really annoying detour all around, because you go through like 5 rooms just to get the single Sky Temple key, and then you go back through those exact same 5 rooms.
Although in theory you could walk through this,
You could.
but it's not probably wouldn't be faster at all.
Although you'd still have to walk crawl through those same rooms.
Yeah, always fun.
We always like being out of bounds. Unfortunately, you won't see it anymore.
Yeah, like there's no like Echoes 100%. Well, it does have a chunk of out of bounds. The most you'll see is going from Acorn to Torvis. That's basically it. And there's a few other spots. Echo Visors get to go Draxus, yeah.
8% has more out of bounds.
If you want to see a lot of out of bounds, watch 6%. 6% is the lowest percentage of items you can get in Echoes in beating it. So you get Dark Beam because you need to get anywhere. Light Beam, same reason. You need Dark Visor to get any of the Sky Temple keys. You need Light Suit to get the majority of the Sky Temple keys. You need main power bombs because there's a Sky Temple key that doesn't exist until you get the main power bombs. And you need Screw Attack to get pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, like Screw Attack is what you need to do like half the majority of late game breaks in the game. And while I'm not going to be demonstrating how you can break the game as much as Screw Attack, the thing is, when you Screw Attack, the size of your Screw Attack is the same as the Morph Ball. So what that means is if you can Screw Attack into a Morph Ball tunnel, and since when you end Screw Attack, you unmorph, you can kind of clip out of bounds out of almost any Morph Ball tunnel in the game. And that is how you skip a lot of stuff in 6%. By the way, this guy named Miles is speedrunning 6% in HEDQ in January. So I recommend watching that.
Yeah, watch that run. That run is really cool. It's
because it
really
is a challenge
difficult.
to just finish a low percent playthrough of Prime in in the first place, but he's gonna be speedrunning it.
I just realized this is the first low percent of primes in
Yep.
GDQ.
Yep.
So 21% next, and then 15%. Yeah, 15.
Oh god.
No. No.
21% maybe. Definitely. Do it.
21% skips space jump, which makes it extremely difficult. Because you can't skip your item. You can't skip losing your items in Prime 1. And you don't get space jump anyway.
That would definitely be the next one to go in for low.
If it gets in, but who knows?
Yeah.
And I mean, Corruption's not gonna get in anytime soon because like no one's. I don't think anyone's done 15% besides Miles. if I recall
NDF.
correctly. NDF, yeah.
And it's not single segment either. Like, no one's done it single segment.
I mean, even if it was, say, optimized, quote unquote, it would still be too long. Like, I think a good run of 15% would probably be like 4 hours.
Yeah,
Or
it is
more.
kind. I mean, Corruption's never been in an HEDQ, which I have to admit there are good reasons for that. But at the same time, it would be really cool to see like someone do a really good run of it.
It's just
the most optimized route.
Yeah, currently with the route that's used and this, how optimized it is, it's not. Well, I'll just put it this way.
World record doesn't use a trick that saves 20 minutes.
Yep, because it's a really dumb trick.
I'll just put it this way. The current, like a more optimal time for that game is at least 40 minutes faster than the current best.
Let's talk about the fact
Back
that
to Echoes.
Annihilator Beam deals 10 times damage to Dark Samus 1.
Hi,
Yeah.
bye. Good boss.
And
Yeah.
it's funny because in the files it says that it deals 5 times damage.
But you actually deal 10, which is why I just killed her with like 10 Annihilator shots, which is pretty funny. So
And
the reason I killed her, because there's a missile tank in this room that doesn't show up until after you kill her and then reload the room, which is why I'm entering this room and then coming back. Because I
There's
need to
so
reload the
many-
room.
There's so many things where it's like, oh, it doesn't exist until this happens with like quite a few things.
Yeah. Oh, whoops, I just fell down like an idiot. Alright then.
Oh, nice.
How does one walk and jump?
I'm so glad I'm seeing these backup strats.
It should be noted that the light beam door that
that's way
Kirby
too low.
came from has a ceiling, in quotes. All you do is just do a jump on top of the Luminoff, and if you do a ghetto jump, you can land on an invisible ledge near the top, and then you can jump right out of bounds because there's no collision for the ceiling.
Ooh, barely made that. So that skipped a spider track puzzle, but it also screws up the camera here, so I can go for a roll jump out of here. Okay, and get back out of here without having to take an elevator or something. So yeah, I'm back in Aegon in the pirate base area, and if you recall, at the very beginning of the run, I skipped the entire base using it out of bounds. So now, to go along with what DCR said like an hour and a half ago or something, I'm gonna actually go through the base now and collect everything on the way.
Yeah,
And by
so
going through
this
the
is-
base, I mean going backwards.
This is where the time save for the Sand Digger wall crawl comes into play for the first trip at least. You get to do all this at once because you go through these rooms, you skip some of the items because you don't have the items to collect them, and by doing this, you get to collect everything on as you go. However, there's 2 rooms that should be noted that if you screw them up, bad. One of them one of them will crash the game. The other one is just a nightmare to recover from.
Yeah. We'll
Is
see
there
how that goes. Is there a what?
nothing? I was just checking and seeing like donations, wondering if
Oh.
there's any to be read.
We do have a couple donations.
Oh, could you wait a second?
Sure thing.
So right here is a puzzle I'm supposed to go through. And I'm going through this backwards, but after this room, I'm coming out of the exit of this next room. There's a bunch
Did
of
you save?
pirates. I did save.
Good.
There's a bunch of flying pirates I'm supposed to kill, and some Metroids that are there because I screwed up the game by breaking it. The thing is, there's a room at the very top floor that I need to get to, but there's no way to get there from the bottom floor besides killing everything and then solving a puzzle and wasting a minute. So if I fail this, that wastes a ton of time. So that's fine. Okay. So that pipe on the left side is much bigger than it looks. Like,
That's That is a
It's
really
really
tight
big.
screw attack.
But that screw attack is the scariest screw attack in an entire run, because if you fail it, you just lost the run. You just lost over a minute. And there is no fast backup for that. And if I screw this up, that same applies, but the screw attack's much easier. Because there's nothing like you can bonk off of unless you're an idiot. Which I've done before.
I've
I
done
am
it
an
before
idiot.
too.
Anyways, yeah, you can go ahead and read a donation.
Alright, we have $11 from Xanthian93, who says...
Oh, hey, Xanthian.
Mago. Also, I can't donate 1111, so rip 111.
Oh. Magoo.
And we have $20 from Wormtalon. Reminder, there are naming incentives coming up. Here's an example. $5 each to name Cecil All, Kane Hale, Rydia Demon, and Rosa Choco. RPG Jerkbird.
This room is scary because you're not supposed to have the pirates and the Metroids in there at the same time. So if you don't go through this room properly, it can crash.
Yeah, but basically, as long as you like if you keep rolling and don't stop, then you're not gonna crash.
It's actually better to just not boost. So
Yeah,
you
like
stay up there.
that's why I don't boost there, because if I boost, I run the risk of falling down and then crashing the game. But yeah, I found out that crashed on accident because basically I found out this route change. I mean, I put together this route change to use the San Diego wall crawl and then this cleanup route, and I didn't know about the crash the entire time because I kept going through that room quickly. So like the first run I did with this route, I messed up with a boost, and then I crashed the game, and I was like, oh, well, crap. What happened? Miles, help me! And then after some research, I found out, like, I don't know exactly what causes a crash specifically, but as long as you roll quickly enough, you're not going to crash. So.
Yeah, because the Metroids aren't supposed to pop out. What causes that is having Dark Beam, which when you go through the first time, you don't have Dark Beam normally.
Yeah, I think it's just conflicting layers, and certain things on those layers don't like other things.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Although I'm not sure why like going fast enough doesn't prevent the crash, but
And this is the
I'm not gonna complain.
This is the second ammo refill that Kirby was talking about earlier. And
This is
here's the
also
Sky
the-
Temple key.
That's
Go
the
for
Sky
it.
Temple key that doesn't exist unless you get the main power bombs.
Yep. So the reason I took the ammo station is not because I need ammo, but because I need power bombs. Because I was really low on power bombs, and I actually need to use all 8 of these through a cleanup. And I want to be left with 3 left before the final boss, because ideally I want to use 3 power bombs on the final boss. And you have exactly enough for that. Right, so it's a free save here.
Yeah, so power bomb management is crucial.
So
It's
should
not
be
as bad
noted-
as in Metroid Prime 100% at least, but still.
Oh, that's bad.
So yeah,
So you need so many power bombs and phase on mines. Anyways.
Kirby is going to be collecting the Annihilator Super. Wow,
Beam combo.
Beam combo. Yep.
It's
That one's-
named after the best Sonic game.
Yep. So that screw attack I did there is the same screw attack that I was like really scared of like 5 minutes ago, except it's much easier in this room because you have an extra platform elevator to jump off of, so it's
And
much
if
more
you
lenient.
fail it, and
It's
if
not
you
a big
fail-
deal.
No, it's not a big deal. You just go up the elevator.
You
I
just
have
take the
failed that.
platform.
I failed that screw attack more often than the one in Light Aegon.
Yeah, like it's a weird screw attack because like if you can't just walk on the elevator or else you can't jump anymore. You have to kind of jump around the elevator and then jump off of it.
Oh, I've
But
bonked
failing
on the
it's-
ceiling.
It's not a big deal if you fail it because you can just ride a platform up and then screw attack there. Also, there is a power bomb tank in this dark water here.
Yeah. If you notice, we're talking about the other Prime games. Many of us who run one of the Prime games have probably ran at least 2 of them, maybe even all 3. It's not uncommon.
Yep. The primes have a lot of common knowledge and common. Some of them have common tech, and just a lot of ideas and stuff flow together. And
Like
Yeah.
BSJs are pretty much exactly the same thing in all 3 games. Granted, like how the camera works is a little bit different. 'Cause, like for example, in Prime 1, camera sucks. In Prime 3, camera gives you free instant one morphs everywhere. But the core of the trick is exactly the same in all 3 games. And same with the general mechanics of Out of Bounds. It's the same between all 3 games.
yeah. All right, so
Except
now he's into
Wii
a hard.
movement.
He's been doing a hard fight with the Aang, which is just making them run to their death. So during this fight, he's going to actually go for the Sky Temple key because it saves time, and if you're fast enough, you can get the key before they die. And if you do that, when you get the key and then they all die, you'll get warped to the center of the room, so it's saving time.
Yeah. Basically, those areas are with when you shoot them with Annihilator Beam. There's both dark energy, which they're attracted to, and light energy, which kills them instantly.
I remember I have a highlight of when I shot one of the spots and the ing just kept running infinitely.
Oh, that happens pretty often. That happens often. To avoid that, you want to activate some of the beacons with light beam, so they suicide into that earlier.
Okay, so you may notice when Kirby walked through that to the super missile door from the other room, you heard a noise. That is the noise of taking damage from the or hitting the poison from the ink claws I mentioned earlier.
Oh,
However,
boy,
light suit does not eliminate that. So dark suit basically in 100% is the suit that removes the sound. That's it.
Mhm.
It doesn't do anything else.
Oh, by the way, this is 100%, so we still have to get something called a dark suit at some point, which is why I'm collecting the 3 Aegon keys. So, I actually need to
At
fight
least
this
the boss is cool.
Yeah, boss has pretty cool music. So there is a skip in this fight coming up. So how this fight works is that you basically go back and forth between 2 phases. The first phase, these worms are jumping out. You see one worm jumping out, and you want to do enough damage to it. And then once you end this phase, then the one worm will go to the middle. You need to destroy its armor, get sucked in Morph Ball, and then bomb it. Then you repeat those 2 phases with 2 worms, and then repeat it again with 3 worms.
Just a fun fact, while Kirby's fighting this first phase, you can actually do an inbounds Amorphous skip.
Oh, yeah, you
Miles has a
can.
video of it. You could just jump around the trigger. Pretty good.
Oh, by the way, you're not supposed to have Dark Visor for this fight, but it is kind of nice to use Dark Visor because of the contrast. Like, it's just a lot easier to see them. All right, so
You want me to explain
destroy
this?
these. Yeah, go for it.
All right, so if you destroy these, you're not supposed to have boost ball here. So if you destroy these 2 worms before one of them is killed, you skip a cutscene, and you also, which stops there from being 3 worms. So there's 2. You only have to deal with 2 of them, and this will still kill a Morbus. The thing is, if you do it again, you soft lock. So
Yeah, don't
Only
do
do it
that
once.
on the last phase.
Also, you should notice that if you look at the ultras that drop in this fight, they are the ultras from Prime for some reason.
that is
They are.
really weird.
They're not the Echoes ultras. I don't know why.
I never noticed.
I just noticed that.
But now
Yeah,
that
I've
you
always-
mention it, yeah.
I've always noticed that. It's just weird to me. It's like, why?
All right,
This is
so that's
another-
the end of the fight.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in Prime 2. Wait. Hold on, I gotta rethink this. No. But yeah, it's weird. And now he's getting Dark Suit.
Whoa. What are these beams of light?
What's going on here?
Oh my god, all the lights!
Not gonna lie, I actually like Dark Suit, and it's kind of sad you never see it.
Wait, what? Nothing. Nothing
Whoa,
happened.
whoa, that is a pretty light dark suit there, Samus.
I didn't see anything happen, Kirby. What just happened?
I got dark suit. Couldn't you tell?
I mean, it says that you have dark suit. I didn't see it.
Anyways, so I need to get the Aegon energy. I don't need it to beat the game, but the thing is, there's a room in Aegon where there's a energy tank. And to get the energy tank, I need to unlock it by destroying some Echo Locks. The thing is, these Echo Locks never show up until after I return to Aegon energy. So this is the only reason I do it.
It's another one of those things where it's like, this doesn't exist until you do this. I think there's a missile expansion before you head to Great Temple. It's the room with the missile launcher. I think there's a missile expansion that doesn't exist until you have space jump.
That
Yes.
sounds familiar. It might be that one.
Yeah, that's on the one that's on the ship. You have
The
to
one that's
collect,
on top of the ship, yeah.
yeah, collect the item and then it appears.
Okay, so if there are donations, this will be a good time to read them because this is basically just rolling around Aegon and being like, oh, hey, I like these missile tanks. Let's grab them.
Unfortunately, we don't appear to have any new donations at the moment,
Hmm.
but perhaps someone would like to change that.
So what are we donating towards?
Well, we are donating towards the American Red Cross to help those affected by the recent wildfires in California.
From my understanding, California's been going through a massive drought, which has been kind of a big cause of that. And I actually have some friends who know people affected by the wildfires.
Yeah, the drought's actually been going on for 5 years now, so...
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
And the wildfires have been getting really bad lately. Like, there are just some areas where pretty much the entire town is, like, decimated by wildfires. It's horrible.
So yeah, if you want to help support, then go donate.
So yeah, anything you can donate would be very helpful for them.
Anything at all? And to go along with that, Bulletin has decided to donate all of his ad revenue and subscriber revenue to the Red Cross as well from this month.
So this missile that he's gonna get, you're supposed to be in the light world, take a portal in the dark world, and get up there, or you could do a 3-bomb space jump.
Into a screw attack and get it that way.
Also, I did-
Hold on, let's... There's going to be some important messages coming up. Did you know some safe zones must be shot to function?
No, I did not. I did not know you had to shoot the nearby sparkling energy to energize the safe zone as well.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
It
learn something
didn't
every
say that
day.
Dark Aether's atmosphere is dangerous, but did you know that?
No, I didn't. Wow, it's not like it took like 1,000 damage during Cordrax's fight.
So yeah, because
I
you
don't
didn't
know.
come through this normally, the tutorial messages are still there.
I don't remember what exactly makes them disappear. I assume it's something to do with like how you go through the main path towards Jump Guardian to intended path, which I never did.
Okay, so yeah, normally when you return the energy, or when you get the energy, you have to like go to the light world and return it. But I don't know why the doors don't lock.
The game only locks the doors of the path you can access. So, for example, this area doesn't lock. If you're in Torvis, I'm pretty sure the power bomb doors don't lock. But
Because you're not supposed to have seeker missiles at the time.
Yeah, but the seeker missile doors in Torvis will lock if you get the energy of Torvis because you have seekers.
By the way, that's
Yeah.
the worst secret lock in the game.
Oh,
Yes.
it's so terrible. I've missed 3 missiles before with that secret door. It's terrible.
I just found out yesterday that I don't know, a few days ago, that in Corruption, the same thing. If you miss one of them, you can actually shoot a missile.
Wait, can you do that in Corruption?
Yeah, you can.
Huh. I never
I
thought you could.
just found that out the other day, which is kind of cool.
Nice, that's convenient.
Yeah, now he's in Upper Torvis, cleaning this area up.
The grapple pirates can spawn again.
Mm-hmm.
And
They didn't. So that's 1 out of 3 spots for grapple pirates to have shown up so far. There's 2 more chances.
It's better now than it is before. Or it's better now because you have dark visor, so you can actually see them.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is the worst energy tank in the game.
Aw, I overshot it. Happens.
That's why.
It's very easy to overshoot it. Okay, there we go.
I would say this is probably one of the more hidden items of the game. Like, you come here the first time to get the boost ball, and then you probably forget about it. You probably don't even see the platform to begin with,
Yeah,
or you forget about it. So,
but I think it's a cleverly hidden item, to be honest. Like, I mean, there is a hint that it's there with the platform. It's subtle, but it's there. And it's obvious if you're observant. Alright.
Hey, you're finally going to use that boost ball track you were supposed to use like about an
Oh
hour
yeah, that
ago.
thing. That thing. Yeah. Unlocking that gate also unlocks the corresponding gate in the dark version of this room.
Yeah, this is what I was mentioning earlier. That gate that he just lowered is the gate is where this is where you're supposed to go after Boost Guardian. Instead of what he did, he went over the gate, the wall with bomb jumping. But that's where you're supposed to go. And now he's finally activating it.
I don't need to activate it technically because I can still do the same 3 BSJ, but like, why would you? It's just faster to use the boost slot.
Right there.
Easier. Yeah.
Because you have to get a missile expansion and an energy tank here.
All right, so there's a room coming up where grapple fires can show up. This is the one scenario where grapple fires have a 70% chance to show up and not 50, but they don't lock the room. So
For some
it's okay.
weird reason. They showed up.
Yeah. Ooh, wow. I haven't gotten that in one boost in a while.
Whoa,
It takes
nice.
me 3 boosts.
Yeah, this is probably one of my least favorite E-tanks as well.
Yeah, I really like the trick to get this. It's really satisfying to do, but like,
If you fail it, you lose a lot of time.
yeah, and that
feel
plan
like-
right there is so dumb.
I feel like I'm the only one
Please
who
kill that plant.
goes to the other part of the spider track instead. I find it more consistent.
And then we've got a really dumb half pipe.
Oh, yeah, this high five sucks.
It's not as bad as Prime
There we
1's
go.
though.
Yeah, like Prime 1, while I like Prime 1 a lot, I love Prime 1, its half pipes are not that great, to be honest.
And
Prime
there's,
2 and 3 just like improve them completely.
there's one half pipe in Prime 1 known as Life Grove Tunnel, and it is the worst half pipe in the entire game.
Entire series. Not even exaggerating.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of any half pipes worse than that. So like Prime 2 and 3 half pipes work pretty well for the most part.
Pretty sure the reason it doesn't work is because of the camera itself. It's just terrible. Which is, they couldn't just do a straight on half pipe. It had to be like angled.
Unfortunately, I did get grapple pirates here, but it's not a big deal because I have Dark Visor. If that missile hits, thank you.
Dark Visor makes it easy.
All right, so I'm gonna get another Sky Temple key soon, and a beam ammo expansion, which we haven't gotten one of those in a while. So it'll be kind of nice to have.
That is the coolest roll jump.
Yeah, that roll, I found that roll jump. It's so satisfying because you can charge your secrets while doing it, and you cross the entire room. So it's just a really cool roll jump. I'm very proud of it.
Oh yeah, by the way, he missed a secret lock there, not because the seekers are bad, it's because he didn't aim correctly.
Oh yeah, I didn't aim at it, but I realized I'm like, screw it. Let's just snipe the last lock. All right, so I'm basically done with Dark Torvis. I'm almost pretty much done with Torvis. There's 2 missile tanks left, but that are on the way to the next area I'm gonna go to, which is back to Aegon. But what I'm gonna do to get back to Aegon is basically every temple in the game has a light beam that acts as a teleporter once you get light suit. So you can use those as another form of transportation between areas. And I'm gonna be taking advantage of that because the Torvis Temple is really close to me now, and and the 2 missile tanks are conveniently on the way to it. So I'm gonna take Torvis Temple's light beam to get to Aegon. And by doing that, I return to Aegon energy simultaneously.
Yeah, I think that's the most recent route change.
It is. It's really funny. The story behind it's kind of funny because this route change was not a thing for like so long. The first run that has ever been done on any sort of stream was Miles's SGDQ 2015 run. Because what happened is, I was driving to SGDQ to Minnesota, and then like in the middle of my driving, Miles texted me saying, "By the way, I found like a 20-second route change." So, yeah. That's literally what happened.
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5, that's not great. Oh well. Where's the other one? Above me? No, somewhere here.
At least the worst room in the game, or at least the worst room for them to show up, they didn't show up at all.
I didn't want to fall down there, so I had to use a backup BSJ to get back up. Not sure if that's the fastest way to get back up, but
Eh.
the intended way to get to the top level is to use a cannon, and I didn't scan the post to unlock it, so yeah.
That's probably the worst room of one of the worst rooms of no space jump. You have to do the 3 BSJ to get up to there, and it is awful.
Oh, I can believe that, because that
Like-
BSJ is kind of just awkward to do.
Like max percent no SJ echoes is just terrible. Like the game is not designed for that at all.
Well, I mean, it clearly wasn't, because you're not supposed to skip it.
Whereas Prime feels more natural, and you can do it pretty easily. Like Echoes is like, no.
Right, so this is the light beam I'm going to take to go back to Aegon. And since I'm going to land right in the energy controller, I'm going to return to Aegon Energy to unlock the Echo Locks for an energy tank. And this route flow, even though I'm going back to Aegon a second time, this route flows really well, surprisingly. You wouldn't think that, but it kind of does, because right after I come out of the Aegon Temple, I get like 2 missile tanks and a beam combo on the way to Temple Grounds. So it flows really well. And it's not like I'm making an extra trip to... I've been to this area before during cleanup. I haven't. So... So I'm going to be going back to Temple Grounds basically while collecting stuff on the way. There's a minor detour I'm going to make right here, because there's a few rooms here with a few upgrades I haven't gotten before. And this is a room that you never have to visit the entire game to beat it. It's a completely optional area. And it's kind of an interesting room because like you can visit this room pretty early in the game, but then it's blocked by secret lock. So the game's basically like, oh, okay, come back here once you have secret missiles. But you don't really waste your time visiting this room the first time because there's an energy tank here you can get. Like the first time we can visit this room. All right, so yeah, there's a puzzle here where you kind of turn on this fan, enter the dark world, and make it like a 3-room detour.
Or you can just
come
do a
out of that
3BJ.
room.
Or
Or
do
yeah,
a
you can just get a
3BJ
3 BSJ.
into a
and then get
screw
Dark
attack.
Burst.
The information for that is in a different layer, so it doesn't actually go through saying that you got Dark Burst, but he does have it.
Yeah, I did get Dark Burst, but there is no message box for it. Which freaks a lot of people out, but rest assured, I can still use Dark Burst, which is not exactly very useful. Use the Ghetto Jump into a screw attack. What you're supposed to do to get back up that ledge is to activate a cannon, but that's slow, and we don't like going slow.
I should mention. I'm doing a lot of side notes things, but in Trilogy, since you can't do bomb space jumps. You can still do part of the puzzle. You just have to raise up the fan a little bit, and then you could do a small Ghetto Jump to screw attack to get Dark Burst earlier. So it is still possible.
Ah, I see.
So now he's basically just heading
Going to use Dark Burst.
Oh yeah, Dark Burst.
Oh, that's gonna miss. Oh wow, I got him. Okay. That's Dark Burst right there. Poor pirate. He got sucked into a black hole. Yeah, so speaking of Trilogy, so under Wii U, Trilogy, you can buy Trilogy, Metroid Prime Trilogy for $20 on Wii U eShop, which is a fantastic deal. I mean, granted, it's complete trash for speedrunning for all 3 games, but it's still only $20 for 3 games that are awesome.
So here's the E-Tank that required returning energy. Well, the E-Tank's there, but these Echo Locks Kirby's using are not there until you return the energy.
Yeah, so there is a way to get this energy tank without getting the Echo Locks, but it requires using a glitch called Infinite Speed, and it's very unreliable and very prone to game crashing, and it takes over a minute to set up. And the setup itself is very unreliable. So you don't want to do that. Returning to Aegon Energy doesn't even cost that much time anyways, so. Anyways, we're done with the 3 main areas. Now we just have to go through Temple Grounds. We have 6 of the 9 Sky Temple keys. The only Sky Temple keys left are in Temple Grounds. So I'm basically going to go around in a circle, getting upgrades on the way while getting the 3 Sky Temple keys. And this is generally like the least interesting part of the run in pretty much every category. It's like you don't really do much besides enter a portal, go to a room, get the key, exit the same portal. And that's kind of true for 100% as well.
I mean, low percent's fun.
Oh yeah, low percent you go out of bounds for every single.
Yeah,
So I
low
guess yeah,
percent.
it's more interesting.
Yeah, because you need super missiles and seeker missiles to access the majority of these doors, but you don't have either of them in low percent.
It's funny we
Speaking
can.
of secret doors.
It's funny we
You know
can
what, right here.
in the low percent of trilogy you can skip supers, but you can't skip seekers
Interesting.
because there's one. It's these two, this secret lock and the one in the breeding ground, I think it's called. GFFC compound in the Dark World. You can't skip those. There's no secret worlds.
Seeker world being the term for any way to get out of bounds.
It's more, yeah, it's like a term that we gave for an entry point to get out of bounds. I believe it originated in NES Metroid term. Same with wall crawling, I think.
Hey, Kirby, don't get lost.
Don't worry, I'm not QWERTY. Well, that's one down.
I have one learning this game got lost in that room before, and it's really embarrassing because it's a small room. You shouldn't get lost.
I mean, I could see someone getting lost in the water because like there's no like reference point when you're in the water. Ugh. Ugh. I love this part of the game, don't you? Don't you love cutscenes with portals and elevators?
I like them so much that I'm continuing to watch this.
I would say probably this is. I would say after Upper Torbus, but the rest of 100% is like, maybe.
I mean, that's kind of true for any percent as well. Like
Yeah.
Temple Grounds, period.
I find 80% a little more boring because it's just
You
like
do less stuff while doing it.
There's a
Yeah.
ghetto jump you can do right here to get a missile expansion.
I'm having more trouble with than I like to admit, but there we go. Yeah, so you're supposed to kind of go through these multiple tunnels in the walls to get that, and that's the exit point. But I kind of just used the ghetto jump to skip that. And that is the last upgrade in Great Temple. There was a save station I just passed by with the rubble that the power version can't boost through. I've forgotten that missile tank many times, but fortunately you passed through that room a second time, so forgetting it isn't a big deal if you remember early enough. All right, so this room is really annoying. So there's a bunch of Annihilator locks I need to use and use Annihilator Beam. And there's also going to be 2 Dark Pirate commandos. One of them's going to die instantly because I'm going to just activate this thing, and he's dead. The problem with it is Annihilator Beam likes to home in on stuff, even if you're locked onto something completely different. Like that. The Annihilator shot that missed went left towards the pirate because he was nearby, and there's nothing you can really do about it. It's very annoying.
Yeah, if you're having trouble getting that beam ammo expansion, just kill the pirates. And don't kill them with Annihilator Beam, because it doesn't really work.
Yeah, like Annihilator Beam on paper is like one of the most powerful beam because this DPS is ridiculous. The problem with it is that like a lot of it, pretty much every pirate in the game you can cheese with charge Dark Beam Shot plus missile, and that kills it instantly.
Actually, I don't think you can kill those pirates with Annihilator Beam. I haven't been able to do it.
Why wouldn't you be able to? I don't know.
I don't know. Not with the grapple pirates.
But there are enemies where Annihilator Beam is immensely useful on. especially for fast enemies because it homes in.
You'll see the use of Annihilator Beam a little bit later on.
Yeah, final bosses.
I have 50 missiles, so there's 2 more left in the run, so I'm not forgetting anything. I forgot to pull open my usual checklist, so I haven't checked if I forgot anything yet. But I'm good.
Your E-tanks look fine.
Yeah,
you're
there's
fine.
2 energy tanks left, and there's 2 missile tanks left.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. You got the one in Sanctuary that you didn't get earlier, right?
The energy tank, yeah, I did.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay, I've gotten stuck on that
Warrior
before. Yep,
Yeah,
I've
it
gotten stuck on
happens.
it before.
It happens like a third of the time for me. There isn't really much you can do about it. Just bomb yourself out. It's really annoying. So what the Ing do if they're in puddle form is that sometimes if you're in morph ball mode, they like trap you and you can't get out until you bomb yourself out. It's kind of annoying. And that's one spot where it's really annoying because you don't know where he is, so so when you boost off a ledge, you're boosting off of it blindly, and then you might just get trapped in a puddle. And sometimes there'll be like 2 warrior Ing down there, and they'll kind of combo you. And while you're not really at any risk of dying, it just wastes a lot of time.
I hope you're not at the risk of dying.
Yeah. Oh, hey. I think
I mean, once you get light suit, it's kind of impossible to die 100%.
Yeah. Oh, by
But-
the way, this is the missile expansion. For some reason, it doesn't exist unless you have space jump.
I think you're not intended to get it until with space jump at the earliest.
It kind of is silly because you can't get up here anyway. But like early games, so.
I don't remember if there's a way to get up there with space jump intended. I don't remember.
But I mean, like even before that, you can't get up there anyway, so
Yeah.
it's kind of silly. Oh well. Doesn't affect the run really.
It's still just an interesting little side thing.
All right, so I'm almost done with the run. I'm basically going to go to the final area now, which conveniently has a Sky Temple key right next to it. All right.
Okay, there's a huge sequence break coming up to get a Sunburst.
This is the last major sequence break in the run, and it's really big. It skips like a huge puzzle that requires going back and forth over and over again. But let's see how this goes.
Only a trilogy could do this.
Why would you run Echo's Wii 100%?
Let me kill these guys.
I don't know. I mean, especially now, Echoes be any percent is definitely a lot more interesting because it has ILS and Sand-Digger. Dude, Sand-Digger is
You
like
didn't die?
that's crazy.
Okay. I don't know why you didn't die from that, but okay.
So yeah, he's gonna do a 3 BSJ.
Ah. Hello.
So you're gonna go into a screw attack there. I was like, what?
Got it. That's a strat that's a strat I found about a week ago.
Wait,
What?
what?
That is really cool.
Yeah. The 3 BSJ is pathetically easy. If you
It looks
practice it.
easy. It looks easier than the other one.
The
other
screw
strat
attack is the
fun.
hard part because like you have to screw attack in the right direction and have enough height to get on the weird standable spot.
I'm
And then you
going
have to jump off immediately.
Okay, the game is now going to lie.
Oh yeah, I don't have 100% because I duped a missile launcher.
Okay, yeah, so it did lie. Yeah, there's one final missile expansion he needs to get.
Which fortunately is right by the last Sky Temple key.
So,
I'm
Kirby,
basically
you're not
going to end the game.
actually running 100%. You're running 101%.
Yeah, we call this 100% because the goal of the category is to get 100.
Get all 100 items.
Yeah, so like, and calling it 101% implies you have to dupe something. And that's not the implication of the category.
Because
Again,
like you said,
if it was just 100% at the end of the game, like if you see 100% on the end screen, you can just dupe Cobalt Translator 79 times and do any percent.
But this, yeah, so like duping wouldn't count, but at the same time, we also don't want duping to be required as part of the category, which is why personally, I don't like calling it 101%. I get triggered.
yeah. It's funny. Prime 2 and 3 both have items that you can just duplicate. Prime 3, Prime and C. Well, Prime 2 you got Cobalt and Missile Launcher. Prime 3 you have Hyper Missile by accident, Nova Beam, and the ship missile expand.
There's a
Yes.
ship missile expansion in Elysia, right?
Yeah.
The
You
thing
missed
about
the,
Prime 1 is like you can't really dupe anything in Prime 1 because in Prime 2 and 3, percentage is tracked by what you collect. In Prime 1, percentage is tracked by things you have. And you cap your missiles at 150. So like if you theoretically got even more missiles than more missile tanks, you would stay at 250.
250.
And then you would not get any more percentage because that is how much you have.
Well, Echoes is also at 255. Well, is at 255.
It still caps at 255, but if you did get extra missile tanks, your percentage would go up because it's
Yeah.
based off of what you physically collect.
Yep. So
Same
that's the
with-
last Sky Temple case. So we'll be heading to the final boss soon.
I remember I had
Can't you just go out of bounds in this room just by going through the other area
on the wrong room, yeah.
on the right?
Wrong room, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it basically is what allows. It basically is what makes super missile skip possible for low percent. Because basically that spot of the room is just barely enough distance to hit the proximity load trigger for this room. So thank God for proximity loads, otherwise 6% wouldn't be a thing.
So
Good,
what's the
then
time at
listen.
right now?
Is,
236.
Okay, I'll be underestimate.
Yeah,
I think my RTA PB is like 233, so something like
Yeah.
that.
it's like a 208, 209.
My
Just
in-game
better-
time PB is flat 2 hours.
This is still better than my PB by like 12 minutes.
I've ran this category for a while.
I should come back to Echoes.
Just do a marathon of all 3 games 100%. All right, so this fight,
I need to learn
so-
Brave.
someone asked if there was a use for a beam combo. Well, you're gonna
Ooh.
get your wish. You are going to get your wish.
This is the most satisfying thing in the run, I think, besides the fish.
So the thing is, Sunburst is so slow that you can fire it so early and it will still hit Ember Ing the moment it becomes vulnerable. And by that time, you will have already swapped to Annihilator Beam. So that saves like 3 or 4 seconds to use Sunburst.
Didn't you
And
find
it's
that
useful
by
only
accident?
because it's so slow. No, I was like, oh. I didn't try to do it on accident. I was just like, hey, let's try Sunburst. Whoa, this is faster. Holy crap. So, yes, Sunburst actually saves time. And it
Yeah,
is
if you do this-
notoriously
if you do
the
this
worst beam
correctly,
combo.
Then you can do this with just 3 power bombs.
Yeah, unfortunately this guy didn't come out, so I still need to bomb it. Oh, so Emperor, this is the 3rd phase of Emperor Ing. He's a boss. Oh,
Yeah, there's a damage trigger underneath him, or like a Oh god, I can't even think of what it's called, but it's vulnerable to screw attack.
oh, bye.
Wow, I have more of a delay than I thought. Yep, bye.
I'm gonna go for it.
Did you make it? Stream.
Made it. I mean, I didn't say what if I made it immediately.
That jump is risky.
It's pretty risky.
It saves a second too. All right, good luck. You're gonna need
Thanks. All right, so now the true final boss is Dark Samus 3. And when you damage her enough, she enters a phase called Dark Samus 4, where she kind of stands in the middle, and she's invulnerable like 90% of the time, and all the damage you do is capped, so it takes freaking forever, and it's luck-based. It
Yeah.
sucks.
it. Dark Samus 4 can just, or Dark Samus 3 could just be a jerk and not care. And we'll go
Right.
to Dark Samus 4.
So every marathon I've run of Echoes has succeeded in a Dark Samus 4 skip. Let's hope I can maintain that. That was early, I think. Yeah, that was really early. Just gonna have to wait it out. Right, so time will be coming up soon. In case that wasn't obvious.
Yay! Yay for delay stream again, or the stream delay again. All right, let's see if you get the screw attack.
What? Whatever.
Did you miss it again?
Yeah, I did.
How did that miss?
I don't know.
I hate this boss.
This is one of the Metroid Prime 2 is awesome because it's one of the only other Metroid games besides the original game that uses the original escape theme, which is the best escape.
Okay, so yeah, screw attack damages her.
Okay, done. Time.
Dude, nice. Nice job.
240-40.
And that's the most 245, I think. Well, that was fine, considering I wasted time for fun. Okay.
Good job, Kirby.
Thanks. And thanks a
Nice.
lot for spending your time to commentate and chill.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so because we go based on in-game time, we normally have to wait like 8 minutes to find out our in-game time because you can't skip any of this.
Yeah, the thing is, in Prime 1, you can skip the credits, but not the final cutscene. In Prime 3, you can skip the cutscenes, but not the credits. In Prime 2, you can't skip either. It sucks.
And this cutscene's long, and then the credits take forever, so it's like about
Yeah.
8 minutes.
So what's the next run coming up now? I don't mind just cutting this off, because, you know, it takes a long time to see the in-game time.
Next run is Mega Man 7 by DMC Aether.
Ooh, I like watching that.
But before you go, we did get a donation from
Ooh.
AyameFan9, $20. Hey guys, good luck with the marathon. Donation goes to Runner's Choice.
What choices are there? Which runner? I'm assuming me, because that was probably some time ago.
I'm assuming you as well.
Hmm.
The
I'll have to
main
look it up.
incentives for Final Fantasy IV and Crystallis are the next things coming up. But
So
you
what's
get,
an incentive for Crystallis?
name bid war for the hero 6-character limit.
Okay, let's put that towards Magoo as a hero.
Nice.
Awesome.
I just opened up Discord and I saw my Magoo picture, so I'm like, okay, let's name it Magoo.
Magoo.
Magoo. Alright, so yeah, that's Metroid Prime 2 Echoes for Nintendo GameCube done with 100%. Hope you enjoyed it and enjoyed our rambling and chilling and talking a lot. And thanks a lot to DCR Gamer and Xanthian93 for commentating with me.
Yeah.
Magoo.
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 Magoo. Mago.
Mago. Alright, should I cut the stream?
Oogam.
Okay.
Yeah, you can cut it.
Alright.